All right, and we are live. So I do this every week while the servers are down. I go through content creator videos and like drama and news from the weekend, and even the past week if I missed that. But I go through and I try to catch up on all the drama because I know there's some Asmongold drama. There's some guild drama with Pirate Software. I think that might happen last week. I'm not sure. But I just kind of go through and I catch up on all the videos. Even not drama related, just good content creator videos. I just saw. Let's get to recently uploaded because I just saw the Hidden Dagger upload a video like a couple minutes ago. I might have to search them specifically. Let's go to my YouTube home so you can all see my algorithm. There it is. Has been some duck videos for my kid.
Greetings, citizens.
All right, beautiful. So this is, I think, Mega Guilds is kind of like a big topic right now. And that's all I see right now. I just applied to join a guild because I don't want to join a guild until closer to launch because like I thought it was an alpha. Why commit myself to a guild? Why try to join a guild when launch could be years away? But even in this alpha, I'm just seeing like the biggest guilds everywhere. I'm in Lyneth. Pirate Software's guild, you see someone with the guild, actual pirates and some kind of Roman numeral everywhere you go. You see a lot of overlords and a lot of like overlord variants. I don't know if they're connected, like overlord spelled with like an E at the end, or overlords, overload. So I don't know if they're all connected, but if they are, I see them everywhere. And some of Narc's guild, Copium Kitty Club, I see him, that guild out and about sometimes. But like everywhere you look, there's a guild, and guilds are really dominant, even the alpha. So that leads me into applying for my first guild. So we'll see how that goes. But here it is. Hidden Dagger's talking about it just 11 minutes ago. Beautiful. All right, streamers and mega guilds. Will they rule Vera and Ashes of Creation? I am going to say yes, because mob mentality and guilds are already showing to be really dominant in just the first couple weekends.
Greetings,
Let's hear it.
And welcome back to the Hidden Dagger Inn. Tonight we're going to discuss the Mega Cap streamer guilds, and should you be concerned about them now and at launch. So without further ado, let's begin. So before I start,
If it's quiet, let me know.
To Intrepid for giving me a super fun last 3 weekends, where I have
has been extremely fun.
So much I have permanently dented my recliner. The patch notes have been insane every week, and I believe all players are feeling a difference each week they get in. With that formality out of the way, being on the North American Linux server has turned out to be very interesting. Not only do we have the pleasure of having the king of
Hidden Daggers in Lyneth as well,
server, who I might add does seem much happier now that he's actually able to test/play the game, and has
Narc is having a good time
with the community. And then we have, who reminds me
he's
of
dooming a bit.
Stern,
oh yeah, here we go.
He's not an asshole
Pirate Software.
And seems like a pretty cool dude, but he has an absolutely insane following. I see actual pirates fucking everywhere.
They are absolutely everywhere.
And that is Thor. He is the guild leader of the actual pirates. Last I checked, they had like 28 guilds, but someone told me they might have over 40 now. And
yeah,
if that
at least
wasn't enough
I think I saw
players,
like 28.
Baldness himself blessed us with his presence on Sunday and his community. Although, unfortunately, his experience was interrupted by some evildoers. However,
I did not hear about this.
Those evildoers did get the banhammer after they were warned 3 times. But that's another topic for another.
Is that in reference to the Pirate Software drama with the other guild? Did they get banned? Maybe I'll find it in another video later. Because I know Pirate Software had drama where he was submitting a bug report and another guild or another party, it was a guild came in and killed him, and like they essentially stream sniped him, or so Pirate Software claimed that they stream sniped him. And as they're submitting a bug report and their screens covered the bug report, they got killed. They got PvP'd. So Pirate Software was like, all right, now you're on the shit list. Now you're going to be killed on sight. And then there's a big drama back and forth between that smaller guild and Pirate Software's guild, because the smaller guild was saying that big guilds are ruining their experience. I think it was like a Reddit post or a post in the forums. There's like a big back and forth. So I'm curious if that's what Peon is talking about here, or if something else happened. Because it sounds like someone got banned. That's kind of big. I'll say Steven's doing a good job about trying to prevent like major griefing with the Asmongold drama as well. But we'll see. You think you did hear they got banned and some people Reddit were dooming about popular streamers getting people banned. Interesting. I mean, that was the big Asmongold thing, but I know... Well, I'll watch a video about it later, so I'll get the full deets. But I think Asmongold, he stopped playing so he wouldn't get people banned.
Other day. I do hope Asmongold and his community come on back, because I really would like to see a big battle between Pirate Software and Asmongold's community. That could be rather entertaining.
Yeah, they're on the same server.
So
if Asmongold's come back, they're all on the same server.
About how are we going to manage these mega cap guilds that we have now on Lyneth? There's a few key facts for us to remember when seeing these wild numbers. Number one, it's phase 1, and there's only 5 nodes, and the map...
Very true. Once we start spreading out and the world expands, like, even with if like Pirate Software's good right now, there's like, Peon said there's 40 some guilds right now. When the game launches and there's 40 some guilds, if you're on the opposite continent, you might never see the Pirate Software guild unless there's like reason for you guys to clash somewhere. So the size of the world might help later in launch. It might not, I guess we'll see. They might try to control every single node because they're so big. That could be an issue.
The map, for the most part, just consists of the Riverlands. By launch, there's going to be 85 nodes spread out across Faerûn.
We got 5 right now.
We currently have an environment where the mega guilds run rampant. And I have a few concerns during this period that we just might have to deal with and take with a grain of salt until more space opens up. One of the things going on with the guilds early on was you only needed to be level 10 to go ahead and register to be a citizen of a node. Now, at the time, there was no penalty for denouncing citizenship and then running to another node.
There will
you
be.
had to wait about 20 minutes, and then you could be a citizen of that node to help affect the election. However, Intrepid has taken quick action against that method and now has instituted a 36-hour cooldown once you denounce citizenship. So you're asking, what's the next best way to go ahead and influence election? Well, since there's
I'm interesting that they actually put a cooldown on switching citizenship in the alpha phase 1 already. Because there's really not that much of impact unless you're min-maxing who you want to be mayor. But I think mayors, if you're mayor right now, there's not going to be any re-elections until phase 2 starts. So that probably doesn't even matter.
The cooldown now, well, you guessed it, people were just leveling up alts to level 10, which really isn't that hard to do. So if you're a mega cap guild, it wouldn't be very hard to get a good number of those people to level up some alts and really influence an election. Now,
that's such a waste of time right now. What are they testing? We're gonna Hey Goblin, what's up? I missed my point. No, if people are making alts to get to level 10 just to stuff the ballots with votes for the person they want to become mayor, that is crazy. We're phase 1 alpha. That doesn't matter at all. What? That's wild.
Been said in the past, whether this still
I can see that on launch. I guess that makes sense.
But that you will need
that's
to
crazy
become a
right now.
homeowner or an apartment holder before you can become a citizen. So this alone should take care of the alt issue becoming a problem down the road.
There's dedication.
Concerns lie in...
It took me 2 weekends to hit level 10. If you have a coordinated group... I'm sorry, I'm chewing into the mic. I'm eating Doritos. If you have a coordinated group, I'm sure you can hit level 10 pretty darn quick. But it took me 2 weekends playing solo and just exploring most of the time, so you could probably get 10 pretty quick.
Some of the in-game mechanics, which I feel
those nerds
will be heavily skewed towards the mega cap guild. One of the
I bet those nerds probably paid to play this game too, even in its alpha state, right?
Node Wars, to which, if I remember correctly, he has said it was uncapped on the players that could participate in this. This couldn't be very bad for many guilds. Now, if in fact that you have to be a citizen, which I hope, if it isn't, it should be, then it would make it much more of a fair battle. But if you don't have to be the citizen and you can just help and run into any node where you want, it will be a shit show of epic proportions. My other main concern is with one of the major in game loops, and that's the caravan system. And especially when it comes to guilds who are
I
going
haven't
to
done a
try to avoid
caravan
their
yet.
taxes on a weekly basis,
I need
they
to do it.
simply might just get overwhelmed by the mega cap guilds. As last I checked,
I know people have done caravans and it's been working out, but the only caravans that I've personally seen in game have all crashed and like the caravans just got destroyed. It became a gray caravan model and just got stuck there. Did you watch the Hindagger Inn video about mega guilds? Is that a real question? Is that a real question? No, I haven't.
there was no limit on how many players could attack and or defend a caravan. This might leave a bad taste in a lot of guilds mouths and personal caravan owners, as these megacap guilds might just start from one side of the map and go all the way to the other, attacking anything in its path. Now, you're probably
It goes by
saying,
Peon.
Peon,
Peon
but
and
they're
Hidden
only going to
Dagger
be able
Inn.
to have up to 4 guilds in their alliance, which is 1,200 people. And you would be right about that. However, what's stopping them from just making, oh, I don't know, 4 of those and having 4 times that number and just not attacking each other? And then you have war declarations. At face value right now, the mega cap
I
guilds
wonder
have
if
a
anyone's done
large
that yet,
advantage.
because you can make
Because if one
node war
guild, let's say
declaration or
number
guild war
28,
declaration scrolls already.
pisses you off and you war declare them, they could simply disband the guild number 28 and reform it later. Hopefully, Intrepid takes the same stance they did with.
True. That's a good point. Because you can wage war on another guild. Let's say Pirate Software, they have 50 guilds. What guild do you wage war on? If you wage war on Guild 47, they can, and like they are getting griefed, or like I guess not griefed because they're in a guild war, but they're losing the guild war. Just disband the guild and make a new one. But that would suck. If you do disband a guild, you lose all your levels. Like later when the game launches and like later on alpha when because guilds can actually get leveled up and get buffs and whatnot, you'd probably lose all that experience. So wouldn't be worth it down the line. Yeah, a lot of people concerned releasing like Doomium based on experiences with other MMOs. It's understandable, but Ashes ain't done cooking yet. Dude, there's so much time for Ashes to cook. Like everything they want to do is going to be so awesome. Like all their systems, everything that they're talking about doing and they're waiting to implement still, it all sounds like it's going to be so cool. We just have to wait for them to actually come out, like all the systems, whatnot. Like naval combat, I think it's going to be a huge one. Because like over half the map is going to be water. And water, all of water is going to be like open PvP, it's going to be the open seas. So naval combat, they're going to have to get really, really right. They're going to have to make that fun because a lot of people are going to want to do naval combat. And they're even going to have a guild castle out on an island between the two continents, I'm pretty sure. So really looking forward to naval combat, and I fingers crossed, I really hope they get it right. And if they don't get it right in the first try, they keep testing it, keep reiterating on it, and make it fun.
The citizenship and makes it where if you leave, get kicked, or the guild disbands, that you may not join another one for another.
Yeah, because, yeah, right. It's the start of Alpha 2, the first phase. What I'm looking forward to is how they progress, probably like, month to month, 2 months from now. What you said, about halfway through phase 2 is probably a perfect time because you can see where they're at right now. Halfway through phase 2, you can see how much they've progressed and how much new content put in the game and how they're fixing issues. And you can take that data and really extrapolate and take a guess on how they're going to progress 6 more months down the line. So I think midway through phase 2 is probably a perfect time to make like a really solid opinion about where the game's heading.
Another 36 hours. And there currently is no guild system set up, so there's really no penalties at the moment. Fortunately, we're still in phase 1 of Alpha 2, so I'm actually hoping that the mega cap guilds, and I'm sure they're.
Yeah, people complaining about the current state or, lack of content. It's not the time for it. PvP fears, well, I think a lot of people are using, for like a casual gamer, PvP is not an issue. But right now all the talk is the pirate software drama, the Asmongold drama, where PvP is a massive issue, the open world PvP in the corruption system at least. So it doesn't matter what like anyone would say probably right now, because they're all going to use the two biggest streamers in Ashes right now, or who have played Ashes, as the prime example. Which, you know, that's the experience for the two biggest streamers. It's not the experience for the other 99.9% of people playing the game. But people will probably just see Asmongold and say like, "Oh, the open world PvP sucks. It's going to break the game." Well, Goblin, you said that you've tried two GPUs and like your worst GPU was running the game better than your better GPU. So I don't know. I hope they push out a fix, or you know, the GPU has like a driver update or something that will help. Yeah, that's really weird.
They're not going to,
I wish I could help
do
you,
it
but
maliciously, but I really want
I
them
know
to push
nothing.
the envelope to really show how far and how much damage a mega guild can cause. And to be honest, in Pirate's case, if you went to war with them and declared against like 40 guilds, well, one, that's a lot of paper. I mean, save the trees. That's a lot of scrolls. But now that I think about it, it would be pretty wild to have such a
Scribing is tough
war
to
with
level
them,
up.
even if you're a smaller guild. Because, man, talk about a target-rich environment. Because you wouldn't make it 15 feet down the road until you ran into a gaggle of pirates, copium kitties, or
Hey,
Asmon
that's
bullies.
right. It is
I mean,
frustrating.
they'll
I
be
get
all
it.
over the place. I'm also very curious to see what the reward is now for winning a guild war once you get 100 kills. It was a lot of
True.
experience way early into pre-alpha, and I'm sure that they've reduced it quite a bit. But I'm hoping that they still give it experience. If you have won a guild war on another server and you're watching this video, please leave a...
It's probably too early for anyone to comment, but I'm also curious about that. Yeah, no comments yet. Yeah, because right now, Guild Wars is just the first to get 100 kills win. They're eventually going to add like objectives down the line, like let's say there's going to be 1,000 kills to win a guild war, and if you win an objective war, or like an objective part of the war, you might get like an extra 150 kills towards your total to help boost your standing in the war. At least that's how I think it's going to work. I think that's how like the node war kind of work with their objectives. But I really want to see what the rewards are. Is it just, hey, you're free to go kill this other guild out in the open world, or are you actually getting benefits from that?
comment below to let me know what the reward was. I think the big
Yes.
sentiment with
I mean,
the
that's a
big
good take,
mega
Goblin.
guilds is a lot of times they'll probably
Not
destroy
really anything else
themselves
you
from
can do other than
within.
that, right?
And that might happen in a lot of different communities. I will say that Thor seems to have a pretty good handle on his pirates right now, and they've behaved themselves pretty well. I guess we'll see in the long term if that keeps up or not. Now, this is the part that
I will say to that point, as like a casual gamer, I'm not in any big guilds or anything. All the pirate software guilds I've seen out there, and any other guilds out there, I haven't seen any of them do anything to prevent me from having a good time or stop me from playing the game, you know?
I'm going to remind you again that this is Phase 1 Alpha 2. So as the world gets
Yeah,
bigger
the caravan
and more...
it seems super fun, but I haven't launched one myself. And the couple times I've been with a caravan as a defender, we get like a few minutes out of town and then it crashes. But the couple times I did it, I was like in a big caravan, a caravan of caravans. There was like 3 or 4 caravans going. So I don't know, and like a bunch of people trying to defend. So I don't know if all the people and all the caravans in one space was the reason for its crashing. But the caravan PvP system, at least when they showcased it, when Intrepid Studios showcased it months ago, it looked like it was going to be a ton of fun.
nodes come online, the world will spread out.
So once it gets fleshed out a little bit, it'll be
But
freaking
the
awesome.
better news for anyone who's concerned about this happening at launch is that guilds will have the opportunity to pre-register for their servers that they want to belong to. So
You got PvP, or your group got PvP'd. Was it fun at least? Like, sure, you got wiped, but you said LOL at the end of it. Like, was it fun? Was it a good experience at least? Like, oh yeah, we got grief, they beat us, whatever. It was all good. I kept healing. They went red, killing you. Yeah, because So were you healing your party members when they were purple, like when they flagged up and they started fighting back, or did your party not flag up at all? Not exactly fun. More annoyed. Oh, that sucks. But did your group fight back at all? You didn't flag up. Okay. I'd be curious to see because it should work this way. If you're the healer for the group and your party member flags up and goes purple and you heal that party member, you should also turn purple. That's how it worked in Lineage, I'm pretty sure, and that's how it should probably work in here. Otherwise, you're just a cleric not flagging up but healing your party members who are flagging. Let's see. When when you got PvP, I'm curious. Yeah, I feel like that makes a lot of sense. I'm curious, when you got killed, nobody flagged, we were just killing mobs. I mean, did they want your spot? Did you have a good spot that you were grinding? Or did they just come in and grief you just to kill you? What if the I'm reading back? What if the pirate software guys set up taxation stations for caravans? Well, so caravans. So if there are taxation stations, you can put your caravan any, or you can drive it anywhere you want to go. So if you say like, there's a bridge where they're taxing people, then you can find a different route around the bridge, or you can turn your caravan into a raft and sail down the river the opposite direction. Like, hey, let's get away from those taxes. And then they see you take a different route and they have to chase you down. It's like, come pay your taxes. Uh, he becomes an evil empire and taxing caravans past their towns. Yeah, you throw, and then you have to hire a different guild to help make sure you're smuggling okay. Like you have scouts going ahead to make sure that the route's clear before you send the caravan through. uh, I'm sorry, Goblin. That sounds like a rough time. So, in my few instances of PvP and like the corruption system in Lineage, which is the same how it works in Ashes, when I was like griefed a couple times. Like this is years ago. I was young. I didn't really care. Like I wasn't playing the game competitively or anything. But like a higher level killed me, and I just like shouted in all chat, and I said like, hey, I put the guy's name in chat. I'm like, this guy's killing me. He's level whatever, and I'm level this. Like he has 20 levels on me. He's out there killing me. And like literally like a party of people just left town and found the guy and killed him for me. And like I thought that was so fun. Like it sucked that he killed me and like prevented me from grinding or whatever I was doing. But seeing like a party come to rescue was a ton of fun. Ugh. Yeah, you make a pirate software guild to destroy them. What you could do if it is just pirate software guilds, like actual pirates, like Roman numeral this, like when they have like 60 guilds, be like guild 48. So like no one's really gonna know looking at you. They're just gonna assume like, hey, you're in this guild, and the guild's so big they probably won't even realize. Well, someone might realize, but then we're like completely overlook the fact that you're not actually part of their guild. Ooh,
Well,
part of
unlike
you.
Alpha 2 servers where there's a very limited
I
amount of
didn't play
servers,
Eve. I got nothing
you
to say
might
about
have a
it.
good chance of being on there with a large streamer. But when they
But
declare
just
it
talking about
launched, you're
like
going to be
the
have a chance
possibilities
to
of
avoid
Ashes,
them like the plague
it's
if you
so
so
fun.
wish to do so. And I want to make it clear that this in
What
no
could
way is a
happen
shot at any of these
is
streamers
awesome.
that I've mentioned in here, as they're just trying to make a living and play with their communities. And I'm sure that most people would happily swap places with them. It's really more about the ability to play the game on a normal level versus guilds and alliances at their intended size. In the end, I would be more concerned about an alliance of 1,200 people who are battle hardened and very
No,
organized
sorry, I
than I
just saw you
would
in
about a
comments. I don't know if
streamer
you chatted very
community.
long ago.
Although, at
Good
face
guilds always
value,
rough from the
Pirate
inside out.
Software does seem pretty organized.
Yeah, it seems like I've heard things about. I forget who I was watching. I was watching someone stream Ashes the other day, but I know they're talking about Envious, and I know the name Envious, so they got to be a somewhat guild or somewhat big guild. But I heard like Envious has a lot of like internal issues, or like they're kind of toxic. So I can see that big guild's rotting from the inside out. I think just kind of slowly falling apart. As of right now, big guilds seem like a big issue, but we're only 3 weekends into an alpha.
However, that's a lot to take on, so hopefully he's got a lot of help. In conclusion, try not to worry too much about the mass amount of drama and players that the streamer communities are bringing in. We'll see mechanics fleshed out about this as time goes on. And hey,
Let's see. So this creation alpha map. So I was told it was Crarian. He's a streamer. He told me. Oh, it's tough to see from this map. So making gold is a good way to make gold is doing caravans. But what he told me is the Sand Squall Desert has a caravansary out here, or a hunting lodge you can sell your commodities at. If you do a caravan from Miraleth, like you launch it from down here next to the road, there's like a path you can follow, like down between these mountains, and this is a river. Hop in the river on the raft, and like take down the river and like hop out here and like get to the caravansary. There's like no monsters in sight, and you can just have like a free caravan ride to sell your commodities and make a bunch of extra gold that way. But making gold is really tough. I've been stuck at, I don't think I've seen one gold. I've only had copper and silver. I've done 2 processing jobs of trying to turn an animal into a mount. The first one failed, which is a wolf, and that cost 55 silver. It's like half a gold. And then the second one succeeded. I got a cat to turn them out, which is another 55 silver. So I've had over a gold, but just not at the same time. Like, out of like all my gold or all my currency, I've had probably like a little over a gold. So making money is tough.
this is what
Yeah, let's
alpha
get
is
into
all
this.
about, to try
All
to
right.
find this stuff out.
Let's see. Unit mine being tough. Yeah, I like I like I like the barriers to getting gold, because you can buy some like lower level equipment and it's like 7 silver or something, but like it's enough. It was enough for me to go to a vendor and see that I have no gloves and these gloves are like 7 silver. And I wasn't just immediately like, all right, let's buy these gloves. I'm like, is my 7 silver actually worth those gloves right now, or should I just like wait for a drop? Like, like it's only 7 silver, but I still had to think about that for a minute. So the scarcity in silver and gold right now is something I like, because I don't like handouts. I don't like playing the game. You get so much gold and so much stuff. You can just buy whatever you need, and like you're given a bunch of quest, or you're given a bunch of equipment from quest. I don't like that. So I like the scarcity of resources. You get some nice gloves 10 minutes in before the server went down. Nice. I was Highwayman Hills for quite some time, like the Sunday night and a little bit Monday. Did a lot of Highwayman Hills, and I got a lot of really good drops. Because usually I was solo leveling up until like level 12, and I was killing a bunch of plants and animals where you don't get equipment drops. So it was nice being at Highwayman Hills and actually getting equipment drops. Like I got a belt and I got pauldrons, which I had neither of those, nothing, for all the way up to level 12. So it was nice to find out those drops. Just need a tax guild exponentially based on members and alliances. Mega guild viability becomes an issue. Yeah, so yeah, taxing bigger guilds. Yeah, so the way to combat bigger guilds is what Steven said, at least that's the plan right now, is you get less buffs the bigger your guild is. So let's say you max, because I think 300 might be the max. So let's say you have 100 members in your guild. You might have all like the buffs you can possibly get from being a level 20 guild. But if you're a level 20 guild with 300 members, you might only have access to like half of the buffs, which is their way of trying to balance out the Zergan guilds and try to promote smaller guilds, but that are actually coordinated and can play well together. Yeah, but there might, if bigger guilds prove to be an issue like throughout the alpha, I'm sure Intrepid Studios are going to try to find a way to nerf bigger guilds a little bit more. All right, let's see. What else do we got? I'm running behind on some comments there, but I want to pull up another video. I know there's Asmongold. There's going to be a lot of Asmongold stuff. I know Nice, Narc, Asmongold has a reaction to Nice's video, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. PTR changes. This was from this morning. Let's Even Zyback's got one. A lot of Asmongold stuff. Okay, I'm gonna watch the PTR patch notes video from Richie here, and then I'll find a Narc video.
Milo's
Goblin. I don't know if you said that before I started watching this. Did you watch the video on patch notes yet?
rewards is here. Join for free today.
I'm about to.
Unlock member perks.
I'm about to. Watch Peons. No, I've not watched Peons, so that's a good one. All right, Peons. We'll do Peons next, because it's Peons like impressions of the game, right? I'll watch Peons, and then we'll go find an Asmongold video. You said it moments before I said what I said. Okay. All right. I don't know if you're pulling a move where we're dead earlier. Hey, you seen a Hidden Daggers video about Mega Guilds? Like, oh, you mean the one that I'm 4 minutes into watching right now? Oh, okay, move where we're dead. I'm like, you did not run 20 caravans and clocked in nearly 200 gold as a talent and experience. But you said it was a Reddit comment. Okay. Yeah, caravans are the moneymakers for sure. All right, let's get into this.
New testing has ended, and another week of Alpha 2 PTR changes has begun. And Intrepid ain't messing around this week. For the first day of the PTR, there are some massive
I think that sounds better.
changes.
Well, this is 10 minutes just going over PTR.
That you could probably expect to be playing this coming Friday. And a lot of these include some archetype changes in UI.
Oh, this is big,
so
huh?
Let's dive right into them. Starting off with general
Get myself a chip.
changes. Dodge will now be able to cancel other abilities when used. Guard will now be able to be cancelled when other abilities are in use. Reduced evasive maneuver duration from 2 seconds to 1. Added automatic target selection when you attack an enemy and have no target selected. Auto attacks now stop if the target dies or change selection when you from 2 seconds to 1. Added automatic target selection when you attack an enemy and have no target selected. Auto attacks now stop if the target dies or changes to a non-combatant. Updated visual effects for stagger, volatile, and death animations. Fixed a bug indicating that shield could stack. Fixed missing player footsteps. Fixed a visual bug causing the cast bar animation to not play correctly. Resolved numerous visual clip.
I guess for this PTR update being so big, because they were supposed to do minor patches every 3 weeks and a major every 6. So this would technically be the 3rd week, right? So this like PTR update might be like their 3rd week minor patches, which I guess is supposed to be bigger than, you know, their daily patches that they've been having.
Issues with other weapons and armor. Fixed targeting effects not displaying for certain abilities. Fixed a bug allowing for climbing and mantling on non-walkable surfaces. Fixed a bug causing damage numbers to be delayed. And improved
I started
player
noticing
movement.
some invisible walls this past weekend. I was going in areas that I wasn't typically going before, like trying to find my cat mounts and stuff, or like go harvest the cats to make my mounts. And I was hitting a lot of like invisible walls, which is kind of weird.
For the Bard, they fixed a bug causing Bard drumsticks to be tuned the wrong way, fixed a bug causing Maddening Dance and Nimble Dance to not be properly dispelled, increased base damage, reduced passive fire damage slightly. With Quick Wit, they increased base damage, reduced passive fire damage slightly. The Fierce Wit passive now has a conditional tripped interaction with Quick Wit, renamed Monologue to Endless Jest, increase the charge count to Endless Jest. Endless Jest now adds the Pep buff to Quick Wit, added optional skills, Jest.
Alright, did you guys catch all that? What does Quick Wit do now? Oh, it's too fast. I missed it all. That's right, I'm not a bard, so... Alright.
And Mock have a shared cooldown for players who prefer separate buttons. Resident Weapon is now automatically granted at level 5, no longer a free weapon combo finisher. Casting any non-melody type ability now grants a stack of Resonance. Resonance stacks up to 10 times, and your next weapon combo finisher will consume up to 4 stacks for scaling effect. Shielding
Hey, looks like a lot
shielding
of bard.
dance from multiple birds no longer stack. Reduce base shield slightly. Added shielding dance passes.
Oh,
that
wait,
boost
okay, hold
shield
on,
amounts
wait.
and
This
allow
might be relevant.
Finisher will consume up to 4 stacks for scaling effect. Shielding Dance from multiple birds no longer stack.
Shooting Dance no longer stacks, because I don't know how all the bard interactions work with other bards, because a lot of people said that you need 2 bards for a party, or like it really helped with terms like mana regeneration. So I don't know if 2 bards doing mana regeneration dances or songs, whatever it's called, if those stack together. So if they're taking away like stacking effects from bards, that might be pretty impactful for party compositions actually.
Reduce base shield slightly, added shielding dance passes that boost shield amounts and allow fully absorbed shields to grant resonance stacks. Maddening Dance slightly increased its damage, changed Maddening Dance so it no longer interacts with Humiliation, and added a passive that will stagger and potentially stun nearby enemies. Hymn of the Mind slightly reduced base healing, added a passive with interactions for single target AoE versions of Lovely Serenade. Single target grants shield and damage mitigation buff. AoE increases the healing and provides glee if targets are below 50% health. Chilling Laminate adjusts the debuff duration of a
Yeah, when I noticed when I had two bards, like a party that I was with, then we had two bards. Mana wasn't really an issue for me, but we were also killing our mobs pretty darn quick. I was in another group where we had one bard, and mana became a pretty big issue, but we were also not killing mobs very quickly. So I don't know if it was more having one bard was the issue, or just having a weaker party in general was the bigger issue for, you know, my personal mana issues. Because with like bigger groups and we're doing okay damage, I can just auto attack a few times to get my weapon combos off, and my refreshing follow through will help regenerate my mana a little bit. But if we're struggling to kill mobs and I need to like constantly cast to kill things, then your mana is going to take down really, really quick. And as I play as a mage, so being able to just get a full weapon combo off and get a little extra mana back really, really helps.
single target AoE version now applies Weakened instead of Frozen. Marionette now applies Humiliated status after Fragile Stun expired. Dark Lullaby corrected the tooltip to show a 4-second stun
Okay.
instead of 6.
I'll skip to the
Glee
mage.
reduced the
Just like
heal
10
torch.
seconds.
Mage, they updated the visual effects on Imbue Weapon to show elemental weapon trades.
Oh, cool.
Updated visual effects on the Wand's Finisher Beam. Updated
Oh.
visual effects for Magma Field. Fixed a
The beam feels pretty good. I like the beam, so they updated the look on a little bit. Magma Field, I just started using Magma Field for like AoE group farming.
bug causing Firebolt, Fireball, and Lightning to instantly cast after using Accelerative Blink. I imagine effects for Magma Field. Fixed a bug causing
Fixed a bug.
Firebolt, Fireball, and Lightning to instantly cast after using Accelerative Blink.
There is a when you use Accelerated Blink, there's blink and you can upgrade it with two different things. And when you blink after 3 seconds, Firebolt, Lightning Strike, and Frostbolt, they can be instantly casted within 3 seconds after using blink. But maybe the issue is all three can be instantly cast within 3 seconds. Maybe that was the
Blink,
issue.
I imagine this meant to say not instant cast because this wasn't.
Oh yes, not yes. That's what it is. Because I tried Accelerated Blink solo farming, and I noticed I only did it for like maybe 5 mobs, but I noticed that I wasn't getting my instant cast off. So I'm like, maybe I'm taking too long, longer than 3 seconds. Sounds like it was an issue. Okay, perfect.
And I'm glad to hear it is now. Fixed a
Chef's
visual
kiss.
effect bugs was Resplendent Beam and Chain Lightning. Fixed a visual issue with Magma Field in Blizzard when cast near a wall. For the Ranger, they updated visual effects on ammo imbues to reflect the type of ammo imbued. Improved visual fidelity of camouflage. Fixed a bug where parts of the Ranger body would remain camouflage after exiting.
Yeah, the camouflage looked a little
Fixed
wonky
bug
sometimes
causing
with the
Thorns
Rangers.
to not flag its owner as combatant when dealing damage. Tank added collision to tank walls and major visual effects updates for tank abilities. Cleric, they updated the visual effects for Chains of Restraint. For mounts, mounts now despawn if they're 100 meters away from their owners. Mounts will now share their owner's PvP status. They improved mount movement.
Oh, mounts share PvP status. Sometimes if you flag up, someone can just go kill your mount. Oh,
See base HP and mounts. Fixed a bug causing mounts to flicker.
that means your mount can go corrupt. What? You just have a corrupt horse just chilling out there.
Fix a bug causing mount ability cooldowns to display incorrectly. Fix a bug causing mount.
I wonder if killing the mount, like you have like a shared equipment or something, or a shared inventory, and if someone kills your mount drops something. That'd be kind of
cooldown
crazy.
timers to be longer than intended, and fix a bug causing mount special actions to not play for other players. Caravans. They added messaging for the
Okay,
second stage of
caravans.
defending a caravan.
This might be a little
Reduced the
relevant.
health regeneration of caravans from 0.1% to 0.01% of max health. Added an unstuck ability to caravans. Fixed a bug preventing dismounting.
I like
from a
the little
caravan in
typos and
rapid
stuff in the
duration. Fixed a bug preventing walking
in the
on caravan
text.
docks. Fixed a bug causing caravan turn-in radius to remain after dismounting. Fixed a bug causing caravan turn-ins to display incorrectly. Fixed a bug that caused looted cargo to remain interactable. Fixed a bug showing
I've been shooting
purchased
at this the
caravan as
entire time in the
unavailable.
background.
Environment. They improved the visual fidelity and lighting in many areas across Vera. Improved the
Thank goodness. I know lighting has been like a big topic of conversation for like years. And I gotta say, I didn't care about the lighting at all. Like, the lighting was fine to me. But I feel like whatever voice in the forums or Reddit or wherever that was like pushing Ashes and Intrepid Studios to like, hey, fix lighting, fix lighting, fix the lighting. I feel like the most recent iteration of their lighting is like the worst that I've seen in the live streams. Like, it looks pretty good, but like when you go inside places and it's like somewhat dark, it's like really freaking dark. And who was asking for that? Like, what? Who's posting about the lighting? It's an MMO. Like this is fine. This is a little bright for me, I will say. But like, the lighting, I feel like was never an issue, and it was made an issue by I don't know who. But now, just inside dark areas, it is a bit of an issue for me. But if you turn your global illumination settings from anything like medium and lower, it's perfect. I think it looks great. Anything above medium, the dark inside buildings is really, really dark, and it's really tough to see. Your graphic settings so you can't form a real subjective opinion. Well, like, just like comparing, so like this, I've been in places. Thought someone was behind me. I've been in places that Steven's been in developer live streams, and like I stood in the exact same spots, and like I pulled up the stream and like pulled it next to me like in game, and it doesn't look the same because I think they like turned down like textures and graphical settings a little bit just for the alpha phase, because you know it's an alpha, they're just testing, they're not trying to run people's computers into the ground with, you know, top tier graphics that they have access to right now. So it is turned down a little bit, so everything we see right now is gonna look better down the line. Like, they already have the capability to make the game look better. They're just not doing it just to save people's computers, I guess.
visual fidelity of night, enabled lightning storm weather, added clouds that cast shadows from the sun and moon. Wind now varies in intensity and direction. They enhanced the visual fidelity of fog, improved road generation for more seamless appearance. General updates to cliffs, mountain ranges, rivers, and shorelines. They updated the appearance of bridges across Vera, improved lighting fidelity and performance for low graphics, enhanced performance for cliffs and forests, improved assets loading around Carfin, fixed a bug causing distant water not to appear, fixed multiple issues causing objects to pop in closer to the player, reworked collision for metalworking stations,
Hold on.
rocks,
Gotta watch.
and node
Listen to that one more time.
to pop in close water not to appear, causing distant water not to appear, fixed multiple issues causing objects to pop in closer to the player, reworked collision.
Yeah, a lot of times I wouldn't see monsters from like here to like that rock right there. Sometimes I have to get that close to see like a monster to appear. So like when you just hit auto run and you're like running a straight line trying to get, point A to point B, and like you're looking at your phone or whatever, you think you have a clear path. And like you look down for a second, you look back up, and you're running right next to a mob because you had to get this freaking close for it to pop in. So hopefully what Richie just said, hopefully that is addressing that issue. Or monsters, you don't have to get so close for monsters to pop up. Because it's only issues in some areas. Like outside Mirrorlith, it's a big issue. Like the big open area next to Mirrorlith, like this node here. Like all this green space is kind of what it looks like next to Mirrorlith, and that was a big issue. In other places in the world, you can see things from pretty far away, but just in certain areas, that's an issue.
For metalworking stations, braziers, rocks, and node building roofs. For UI, they reworked the user interface and updated many icons and windows across UI, updated UI customization functionality, updated the
So the customization for UI is top tier right now.
Now show in the target window.
You can open up customization for the UI. You can open it up, and literally every single box you can move around. You can change sizes. I think you do like some I haven't really looked into it because I'm fine with how everything is, but maybe it's like color changes on some things potentially. I think that like they will do that, but I don't know if it's currently in there because I haven't really looked around too much. But yeah, like your entire screen lights up yellow, and you can move everything around.
Target window, party, and raid interfaces, added a report bug functionality to the escape menu, added an option to adjust and display range for NPC.
A lot of people ask,
nameplates,
how do I
removed the
submit bug
invite party
reports?
option for non-party leaders,
So now they
renamed
added to the
cities
escape
chat
menu. That's
citizen
perfect.
chat, fixed a visual bug causing the scroll bar to not always appear in dialogue, fixed a visual bug causing death locations to not always display in the world map, fixed a visual bug causing icons in the nameplate to not always disappear, fixed a bug causing secondary and hereditary quest objectives to not appear after logging out, fixed a visual bug causing chat text.
This weekend logging in, all my quests are no longer popping up on the map. Before there was like yellow markers where they were, but literally none of my quests are popping up as quest markers anymore.
To sometimes turn purple, fix a bug with the skill tree reset location, fix a bug causing party invites not to be received, and that is a big one. Audio, they updated the distance at which audio can be heard, updated the sounds around Samaya's Hope, updated the audio for tank, ranger, and mage abilities, added audio to crystal golems, updated the sounds of different resources being mined, added a bug causing node music not to play, fixed audio bugs for several NPCs, fixed a bug causing unlit fires to sound like lit fires, and added more.
You figured it out,
cowbell.
Chuck.
For nodes, they updated the interface of several services and nodes. They added
Would have been
dialogue
terrible
to
if you
all
just started
node
trying to play the
guards
game like,
inform
oh,
citizens
Ashes is
of node
shit.
Activities, rearranged marketplace locations and placements so that all nodes have a consistent pattern. Updated the position.
Oh, group member. Yeah, group members are super tiny. It's like one thing. When you open up the map and you're scrolled out and it turns to like it's a more grainy looking map. Like, I think that looks terrible. Like, when you zoom in a little bit, I think the map looks so good. So I just want them to keep the map to visually to look the same as compared to, like, when you're zoomed in and zoomed out. Because when it zooms out, like, none of the quest markers pop up. You can't see, you know, party members, anything like that. But it's a very good point. When I've been grouped in excuse me. When I've been grouped in Highwayman Hills and we're waiting for people to come join us, we're like, hey, are you coming? Are you coming? And they're not talking in chat. And if you open up your map, you can't clearly see where they're at in the world. You kind of like zoom in a little bit and like kind of search around the map because it's like a tiny little yellow icon. Yeah. Do speak to them and decipher the location. Yeah, you have to talk to them like, hey, where the heck are you guys? Yeah, because I was in a party and we're talking to this guy. And we're like, hey, are you coming? Are you coming? Are you coming? And we're like, all right, let's kick him. And the guy's like, WTF, I'm here. And we're like, what? We didn't see you coming. Like, we spent 5 minutes trying to talk to you, and you didn't say a single thing, but he's like running the whole time. But he didn't talk, and we couldn't see him on the map.
Of the mercenary NPC.
Exec GG, what's up? First time chatter, thanks for coming by.
Added a variety of ambience NPCs such as a loot player and a crate
And thank you for the follow.
Node summary now displays attacks. Non-citizen menu now displays a list of nearby nodes.
Just listen to some of the PTR changes.
Added citizen voting to the service building demolition. Fixed a bug causing the tax payment pop-up to incorrectly show after payment taxes. Fixed a bug causing
totally
the
agree with you,
MasterCard
Goblin.
in Lionhold to have a node-related dialogue. Fixed a bug causing fake crafting station icons to appear in Mirrorlith. Fixed a bug causing notification spam during a node war. Fixed a bug causing newly registered citizens to not be participants in
a
active
node war
Fixed
patch
a bug allowing the daily contribution
without
to be
node wars
bypassed
even
by logging
happening.
in and out. Fixed a bug causing items
At least
and
not to my
materials to
knowledge.
be lost or duplicated in the storage warehouse. Fixed a bug causing the node currency reward display to be too large. Fixed a visual bug causing node wars to incorrectly display as 5-star elites. And for commissions, quests, and events, updated commissions to better align with corresponding locations. Updated cargo delivery quests to better align with their corresponding locations.
This might be
Updated
kind of big.
instructions for multiple commissions to better indicate direction and completion objectives. Updated fishing commissions objectives to
I have not done fishing yet. Does anyone know how you fish? Is there a certain button you press? Can you walk up to any body of water and can you just press a button and you start fishing? Because I have a fishing pole. I have not tried it, to be honest. But there's no like clear button or anything where it says fish. Oh, well, right here, he's got a little fish. Oh, I think someone said it's an ability. So you might have to like open up your skills tab and put like a fishing icon maybe. That might be it. If anyone knows for sure, let me know, because I want to try fishing sometime. Now here it's like AFK fishing. There's no like, I think there's supposed to be a mini game, or at least it was talked about having some sort of mini game while you fish, which I think is pretty fun. Like New World, I thought it was a fun little mini game when you fish. Throne of Liberty, I thought it was a fun little mini game when you fished. It sounds like there's AFK fishing as of right now in Ashes, which, you know, I don't have a strong opinion about.
To be more clearly identified requirements. The Goblin Counterattack event now provides rewards. The
Cast an
Silesian
AFK.
Scale Plunder Quest has now been updated.
Yeah, see, on Common Sense, I also want an active mini game. Like, yeah, like sometimes I just want to sit here and like watch YouTube and just fish AFK. Like, that's fine. Like, you're doing something, but I kind of like the fishing mini games. It's very low energy. You just kind of like, you know, chill, sit back, and just, you know, click, hold down your button and like reel in. But just like something small, I do like it. But if people prefer AFK fishing, then that's okay too. Maybe like something like RuneScape, where you have to get an AFK fishing rod.
It's level 23.
It's like a
Fixed bug
Grandmaster
with the
fishing
kill
rod.
credit in the Kill Teddy Commission. Fixed a bug in the Bone Binders Kill Commission. Fixed a variety of typos in commissions and quests. Fixed a visual bug causing quest markers and events not to appear on the mini-map or map. Fixed a bug preventing characters from completing certain quests. Added a dialogue path to retrieve discarded quest items without abandoning the quest. The Woe of Xander fixed a broken interaction and adjusted broken grave markers. The Marching Mausoleum fixed how objective completion displays and loot phases. I'm not going to read the rest of these because they're just
Oh, there's more.
mini bug fixes. And
This is 10 and a half minutes, and he said, I'm not going to read the rest of these. We're at 10 and a half minutes, or almost 9 minutes. Exact. I hit level 13, almost 14. I played all 3 weekends. My first 2 weekends, I was playing solo and exploring the map and like trying out commissions and like trying to do some quests that were bugged or didn't work or whatever. So my first 2 weekends were very, very slow, and I leveled up very, very slow. Like I probably spent like 60 to 70% of my time running around and exploring and not actually trying to grind. This past weekend, I started grinding actually. Hit level 12, just like playing solo, and then I got to like 13 and like 80% exclusively at Highwayman Hills with a big group, and that probably took like a total like 4 hours. Like we were pretty. If you get a good party and you're farming 3-star elites, you can level up pretty darn quick. Oh, yeah, they've been shooting this caravan the entire video, right? Ugh, what caravan is this? If my caravan was this tanky, I could send my caravan all the way across the map, have no issue.
completion fixes for every
I could have
single quest
Firebrand
fixed
attacking
for.
my
They
caravan
added
the
a
entire
new
way, and I'd be
Blue
okay.
Bridge blockade quest. They removed Mayor's Declare War starting quest. Removed Mayor's Build a Service building expansion quest. Added a new
I
invasive
don't think it goes towards me,
species,
but I'm on
Deer
Leneth.
Samaya's Hope. Added
Yeah,
a
it's a
new
raid-
Ancient Eptos quest
raid
at
boss
Samaya's Hope.
caravan.
They fixed a bug causing town
For
guards
real.
to incorrectly display.
I think the weakest raid boss, I think is like 500k XP, because there's Tumok, Firebrand, and like Kumat, I think is what he's called. I think Kumat is the weakest, and he's you hit 25 on Saturday. Holy shit, dude! Because after the second weekend, I think like only 7 people across all servers, and it was only on Resna, I believe, actually hit level 25, and that's absolutely insane. Trying to play solo, hearing you guys hit level like 25 or close to, even hitting like level 20, like that is freaking insane. But now that I joined a coordinated group, and we were like leveling pretty quick, I'm like, oh, I can see that now. Actually, you just have to be like in a coordinated guild or have a coordinated party, and you guys have to be, grinding pretty much 24/7 when the servers are up. But it is definitely doable now, and you get pretty cool loot if you're actually killing, humanoid monsters or humanoid enemies, mobs.
A quest icon. And with
3-star elite AoE
they
farming is
updated
100% the
NPC
way. It's so
population
much
in the
quicker.
areas in the following-
A big issue I was having, I was going to Highwayman Hills, and the parties I was joining, we were outside doing the general no-star people. We were outside Highwayman Hills killing like 1-star and sometimes 2-star elites, and I'm like, I'm getting 200 to 300 XP for each of these guys. This is 100% not worth it. And I went to Darrigal Estates in like the outskirts, and I was killing the Bloomeria big plant creatures for about 1k XP. I'm like, this is so much, solo leveling is so much quicker. Why are people grouping up? And then eventually I got into a good group that was doing 3-star elites. I'm like, holy cow. Now this is where it's at. So I think solo leveling is more efficient if you can't find a party that can do 3-star elites. If you can do 3-star elites, perfect. But if you're doing like 2 stars and like 1 stars, I think that solo leveling might be more efficient. About 75 hours to hit 25. 75 hours to hit 25. That's still quite a bit of time, but hey, you did it. And now you can just coast for the next like month and a half and do other things that you want to do, like Artisan or PvP or caravans or whatever you want to do.
Following area: south of Lionhold, north of Lionhold, the Tower of Carfin, the Church of the
You
Seven
streamed the whole
Stars,
thing
Halls of
too?
Adjudication, the
Oh.
western beach of the Riverlands, the second.
Oh, exact. You're the one. Have you been streaming throughout the week, like on 4 or 5 times speed, and it's just like a time lapse of you leveling up to 25? Because your name sounds familiar. I think that's you. I pop in there every now and then.
Sword Outpost, Scholars Academy Caravan Camp, the Rosewater Tower event, Sand Squall Desert, and Vandegar Tropics. They updated the visual effects and sound effects for many enemy NPCs. Enchanting recipes now drops from humanoids. Wolves will now sleep.
Ooh, enchanting
Giant
recipes drop from
spiders now
humanoids.
spawn
Good to know, because I was only
spider
getting that
death.
from
Firebrand can now
non-humanoids.
spawn in multiple locations.
Dude, good
Updated
stuff,
enemy
Exact.
leashing
Good
behavior,
stuff.
Updated NPC navigation behavior, adjusted the behavior of spiders and goblin flares. Fixed a bug causing dead NPCs to play the tripped animation. Fixed a bug causing dead NPCs to incorrectly cause nearby enemies to aggro. Fixed a bug
We're almost
preventing NPCs from spawning correctly in the ground. Fixed a bug preventing NPC projectiles from spawning. Fixed a bug with NPCs that would make them friendly to you when they should be hostile.
That's a big one. I don't see it as much anymore, but my first weekend, there's a lot of creatures that are spawning as green people, and you can't attack them at all. And it says they have 0 health, but when you walk by, they're still hostile towards you and just kill you, and you can't do anything about it.
And fixed a bug preventing Cutlass from properly applying the rotten blood debuff. This is an insane.
I did. I'm assuming scarabs, they're in the desert probably. Went from 22 to 25 in 4 hours. In about 5 hours. Holy shit. That's how long it took me to get from level 10 to 12. Okay, scarabs. I saw I don't know if it's Pirate Software or who, but they're doing like chameleons or something, or some kind of lizard, probably in the tropics, and that seemed like they were talking about that being super good for XP.
Insane amount of patch notes going 1 week after an alpha test. And one thing they didn't mention, which I noticed in my short time on the PTR, the tropics map appears to be updated.
All right, that was a lot of patch. That was 10.5 minutes of patch notes. Only a couple things actually meant anything to me. They also did go pretty quick, so to actually look at the patch notes, I'll probably go look back at it later and actually like read them, because it'll probably make more sense. But when he was listing off those bard changes, I was like, what is going on? Quick with this, quick with that. A lot of changes to quick wit is what it sounds like. Exact. That's crazy. 25 already. How do you feel about the wipe coming in phase 2? Do you feel like, are you like, yes, I hit level 25, I can do whatever I want now? Or are you thinking like, damn, I hit 25 and it's about to get wiped into a month and a half? You're like, shit, I gotta do it again. Let's see, Uncommon Sense. I've had some deep forum discussions regarding active gathering crafting versus AFK timer actives. Basically, solution is have both options, but epic and heroic legendary only obtained actively. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, to be honest. Because there's different tool sets, right? So maybe like the fishing rod is AFK, but the other tool, there's like a harpoon for like deeper water fishing, and then like a fishing net for like shallow water, I think, right? So maybe having those other, like the fishing net and the harpoon, like some sort of active mini game where you have like you have a better chance at higher rarity resources, and just like the fishing pole is AFK. And that's, people just use that as a means to get experience while they're sleeping or something, That'd make a lot of sense. Spend a lot of time trying to find good spots. So I spent a lot of time running around the first couple weekends just trying to find a good spot to level up. And it was tough. Yeah, I want to know. So you're just going around figuring out where a bunch of good equipment dropped. I know I was watching Crarian stream in Carfin, and he had like a bunch of Carfin robes on. I'm like, I want some Carfin robes. That seems pretty cool. And I'm just waiting for, I know there's an Ashes Codex, but I'm just waiting for everything to get updated so you can see all the loot and where it all drops. Because I know they have like loot drops, I think, for some pieces of equipment and like how things get crafted, but not everything is completely done on the website, I don't think. So I'm looking forward to that. Third floor Carfin's the way. All right, let's what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna watch Lazy Peon, and then we'll do some Lazy Peon. There we go. Lazy Peon, and then some Asmongold video.
Will you just pick something? You've been
Freaking
flipping around
ads.
for 45
What
minutes.
difference does it make to you? I could be streaming my colonoscopy and tell you it's Agatha all along.
Oh, please don't make me think about that nice lady
I will
moving
say,
around in there.
Deadpool and Wolverine was
Damn
pretty
it.
good.
Deadpool and Wolverine, now streaming on Disney+.
5 reasons to come to Hawaii.
Another ad. What is this?
Cabana.
Now I know how you guys feel when you try to get on my Twitch stream. What the fuck?
And support local businesses.
You stopped watching Lazy in 10 minutes in. Well, if you stick around, Goblin, you're going to be watching all of Lazy. Now it can tell me to skip after it played the full 2 ads? What?
So, Ashes of
Oh, this is 37 minutes. Let's see. First impressions, and then we... Oh. Things I liked at 30 minutes. Things to improve. Exact, thanks for coming by. Oh, dude, Exact, thank you. I mean, I'll definitely... I've been into your Twitch stream, for sure. I don't know if I followed you, so I'll make sure I do follow you, and I'll check you out more. Thank you, Exact. You keep grinding, too. Well, you don't have to grind anymore. You're done grinding. Unless you want to get, like, equipment drops or something. How lazy is this peon? Ooh-wee. It's 37 minutes. If I pause throughout this, hey, well, you're gonna get a little something, Exact. A little something. I am gonna grab another beverage because it's this 37 minutes, and if I pause, it's gonna be much longer than 37 minutes. So, give me a second. I will be right back. All right. Are you ready? Net would be AFK. Yes, that makes... Oh, hello. I got a blanket. I try to pull it on my legs, but my dog's in the blanket, so... No blanket for me. Ah. Okay, all right. Yeah, Peon pretty much capitulated Ash's Kickstarter for many people. Catapulted. Oof. Catapulted Ash's Kickstarter for many people. Yeah, a lot of people that the past few months before Phase 1 came out and everyone's talking about Ashes and people were asked, how did you get into Ashes? A lot of people said it's because of the Lazy Peon video. I will say, I did not watch the Lazy Peon video, the one from, years ago, probably at this point for the Kickstarter, or maybe afterwards. I'm not sure when. I will say I've not seen it.
And claim those
But here we go.
awesome rewards. Don't miss out on this incredible update. Ashes of Creation Alpha 2 Phase 1, my first time playing. Let's create a character.
Yeah, a lot of
Currently
people have
3
heard about
different
this through
races,
Lazy
the
Peon.
Empyrean, the Kalar, and the Vec, with female and male options for each. 6 different classes currently in the Alpha 2. You've got the Bard, the Cleric, the Fighter, the Mage, the Ranger, and the Tank. I'm going to start with the Mage, but I might try out some other classes later on. I don't like that your character, completely disappears and then reappears every time you click a preset. It's just an unnecessary waste of time. It should just instantly change. Let's see how much character customization is currently in the game. So
A
we've got
waste of
piece
time, he
size,
says.
Height, weight. Ooh, okay. That's substantial. Max out the arm slider. The character creator is definitely nowhere near being finished, which I'm surprised about because in a showcase like 2 years ago, it seemed like it was way further along than it is now. Let's enter the world of Vera. Straight into the world. Okay.
Okay.
Here we are. So
It's
we're
a
in
strong
the
start.
world. It's looking kind of snowy here. First things
Okay.
first, how does the
That-
movement
oh,
feel?
okay, sorry,
Fairly
volume up a little bit.
responsive. Straight away, the movement substantial.
This. All right, hold on.
For each. 6
Move over,
different
Dad.
classes currently in the Alpha 2. Completely disappears and
This
then
would turn you
reappears
off.
every
That would tilt you already.
time you click a preset.
That would tilt you.
It's just
I'm not playing a character. The character's gone. Am I even playing the game? Shut up.
an unnecessary waste of time. It should just instantly change. Let's see further along. The things first, how does the movement feel? Fairly responsive. Straight away, the movement actually feels better than
Wouldn't
Throne
I
of
just be
Liberty.
annoyed?
Jumping.
Oh, I gotta.
Can you jump and move?
Are you trolling me? I think you're trolling me.
What, from stationary? You can.
I didn't even think
The
about
jumping and
that.
movement,
Your
right
character
off the bat,
disappearing
already
as
in
you
an alpha
switch
state,
race or whatever.
destroys Throne and Liberty. Jump right, you jump left, your character kind of tilts either side. Got a button over here, C, sprint.
He's going very in depth. He's like doing everything. If we're just a minute in, he's like already like, how does it feel left, right? I would say the movement and abilities feel pretty good and responsive in my opinion.
Okay. Oh, the transition from sprinting and not sprinting is quite smooth. I remember for the Alpha 1 sprint,
You
there
get
was
some
this horrible
beefy
effect at
upper
the side
back
of the
and
screen, so
shoulders.
they've gotten rid of that. Dodge. Oh, okay, there's the dodge roll.
What if the sickness that grips those goblins outside is contagious?
That AI voice acting is horrendous. Delete it. Grab a
Oh, I
sword
love
if
it
you
though.
want. What else can
I
you
want them
grab?
to keep
Grab
that.
invisible.
Everyone it is hilariously bad, but it is also that's what makes it charming as well. It's like this is where Alpha 2 started with this AI voice acting, and I don't know, I kind of like it. I would be 100% okay if they kept the AI voice acting how it is.
Barrier here. You'd think I'd be able to jump through that. The sword.
Yeah, I mean, most people, Goblin just said, most people are going to read it anyways. I remember Loreforge has talked about this before, where they would prefer, or what they liked in previous MMOs, is that like the first line or two is voice acted, and then the rest of it is not, and you can just read through it if you want to, right? So like that's how you can cut down on like if you did real voice acting, just have them do the first line or two, and then it just cuts off. And if you really care about the dialogue and the lore and everything, then just read it.
Attack actually feels really good. Got
You
a
never learned how to
goblin.
read,
Give it a whack.
Chuck.
I'll be a great sword
How have you
using
come this
mage.
far?
Let's try my first ability. Arcane Volley. Oh, I can actually move a little bit whilst casting that. That's cool. Oh my god, you can cast from so
That's why you
far
just listen
away.
to Twitch streamers.
Obviously, I've been playing Throne and Liberty for the past few weeks before Alpha 2's come out. And it feels weird to be able to cast a ranged attack at a decent distance. Because in Throne, you fucking do ranged DPS, basically standing next to the mob. Oh? Does the combat work similar to Guild Wars 2? Like, right now I don't have a goblin targeted. It does! So, if you swing, that's basically action combat. If you swing your sword without a target, you still hit the mob. That's exactly how it works in Guild Wars 2. Yeah, I appreciate that. I love that they've designed it that way. I also like
Right
how my
on.
character's got his greatsword sheathed over.
That's
the
for the one though. Like projectile weapons, you can't just auto attack nothing. Why'd he skip his elbow on his sleeve? Oh,
shoulder. You goblins.
oh, his
you have
tattoos.
something for me?
Sloppy, give it here. Let me put it.
I mean, this guy had absolutely nothing over his head. He had like no quest marker at all. He just said you over here and I spoke to him. So I guess I need to pay attention to the NPCs in this game. I feel like your average MMO player is going to see this icon and it's not going to be obvious to them that that is a quest icon. It's a very weird quest icon.
I had the opposite issue. I saw this, and I saw that, and I saw that, and I saw that, and I saw a commission board, and I saw the 2 quests in there, and I saw a quest running down here, and I thought, holy shit, there's a lot of quests. Like, like, I don't want to do all these. This is too much. I'm not going to accept, like, 12 quests, right? That's, like, way too much. So I had this opposite issue. Like, yeah, that's very clearly a quest, and why are there so many?
And actually, I've taken the quest from him and the icon is still there, so that's confusing.
That is something that should go away. That anyone you complete a quest, the icon stays, which is very, very silly.
So I suppose I should just take a really...
I didn't do a lot of the quests in here, just because I tried a couple on my first day, and they weren't really worth, the XP wasn't worth it. Caroline down here to the south of Lionhold somewhere, she wants you to pick up some branches from the heartwood that washed up on shore. And I went over there and I found 2 spawns for the branches. There's like 4 quest markers where they can spawn. And they're like, kind of far enough away where it's like kind of annoying to walk to those places. And out of 4 of them, I only found spawns at one of the locations. And there's only 2 spawns of the branches at that location. And the respawn timer was like several minutes. And like other people were trying to pick it up as well, because it went away when other people picked it up. And you had to get 12 of them. And you had to wait like multiple minutes just to pick up 2. And then the reward was like 900 XP and like 18 glint. It's like I wanted to do the quest, but I'm like, that's a big waste of time for something that is just like, it should be a like 1 minute thing. But one quest, I mean, I talk about this all the time. Set to Motion, it's like a scholar quest you get northeast of Lionhold. You have to find one part of the quest, you have to find evidence of the bell song. And a lot of people in like Discord and in global chat kept asking like, where's the bell song? Is this bugged? Is it an incomplete quest or whatever? I spent like a couple hours and I found the evidence of the bell song and I figured it out. So I had this thought, I'm like, how many quests are not actually bugged? And it's just people aren't taking the time to like figure it out, or like not reading the quest dialogue or whatever. So I wanted to do a bunch of quests to try to find out like, hey, is this bugged? Is it incomplete? Or are people just not taking enough time? And I had a lot of fun doing it for the Set to Motion quest. But after that, I'm like, ugh, that took me several hours and I'm like level 5 still. I'm like, I think I want to spend my time doing other things.
Easy commission, chop down the tree.
So I want to know how many quests are actually bugged, and
Oh, that's nice. That feels good.
maybe
the way it
maybe a
hits
lot are
the
bugged,
ground, like the sound effect.
but
when
I'm
the
sure
ground hits
some might be
feels very nice.
just like tough to finish.
Oh, I like that. The tree collided with the roof of the building. What do these icons mean? What's this grey icon mean? Oh, that's a quest. Interested in becoming a Sith.
Yeah, my issue with going through town just talking to everyone, it's like too much. At least for me, it's like choice overload, right? And there's so many things to do where you opt to do nothing. Like so many choices that I'm just not going to choose anything. And then you leave town and then you start thinking like, dang, there's a lot of quests I should have done, but I didn't do because I felt overwhelmed. And that's how I felt at my first day coming down here.
Citizen. I tell you what, these quest icons are very confusing. So why is this one grey and these ones are books? Like, what's the difference?
Yeah,
because
I mean,
they've both appeared as books.
I'm sure it's something that
in the quest log at the
if you run into a lot of like, choice overload stuff in like real life and you kind of get used to it, it wouldn't bother you. Or if you play other games that are like that, it wouldn't bother you. But for whatever reason, it bothered me.
This icon continues to show after you've taken the quest.
And then because I did like my first impressions video, and then I thought that, because the Sweat of Your Brow quest is the only quest that truly matters, because it kind of gives you your first tool set and gives you your first mount. And I'm like, that's the only quest that really matters out of like all like 10 quests, 8 to 10 quests that you see in the starting area. And I thought, like, why not just have a unique quest marker for that Sweat of Your Brow quest to kind of let you know, like, hey, there's a bunch of quests here, but if you only want to do one, do this like tutorial quest. And yes, it's a sandbox MMO. There's no right route to do anything, and you're kind of, up to do whatever you want to do. But I think like having a unique quest marker might help newer players to at least get started. And it's not gonna like hold their hand and tell them to do everything. It's just like, hey, do this quest first, and then everything else goes on as usual. But at least lets them know, like, hey, this is a more important quest if you're trying to get started.
Of confusion, unnecessary confusion. Imagine you log out and then you forgot what you were doing in your next gameplay session. You're just gonna re-talk to the NPC when they've got nothing for you. Swimming feels good though. Straight away, the movement of the swimming
I do like
feels
swimming
better than the swimming in Pack Desert Online.
I like how you
Which isn't
slowly
hard to do, to be fair.
get
this is
pushed
another
down the
thing. It looks
water.
like he's got a quest for me. I talked to him and there's nothing. Have you words to share or something to return? Why is there an icon above his head if I...
This guy, you find items out in the open world, and you're supposed to turn them back into him. But it's not very clear. When you randomly find the quest item, it has like a blue glow on the ground, and then you go interact with it and pick it up. Or maybe it was a quest drop, I forget what. But I had one, my brother had a couple, and you're supposed to come back to Linehold and just turn them in to this guy, and you get like some glint or XP or something. But yeah, just seeing this is a little bit confusing.
can't do anything? I've never spoke to him before in my life. Bombarded with quests at the moment. And
yep, bombarded with quests.
I haven't managed to complete a single one yet. You there, help us retake the wilds. And he's got nothing for me because I've already spoke to him. So why does he keep saying that? Where is this Ember Spring? It's like the first quest in the game. Yeah, I can't find it. There's no indicator of where it would be on the map. As far as new player experiences go, it's not good. This mob has double my health. It's the lowest level commission I could find. Tutorial quest. Can I actually even kill it? There's no way I can kill that. So this is a tutorial quest, which I just straight up can't do solo. Clearly. Okay. And there's these NPCs just randomly running around one-shotting things. Okay. Maybe I'm supposed to be in a raid group from level 1. I mean, I heard the new player experience.
Yeah. Uncommon Sense and YouTube said, the quest should be like equip a weapon, dodge through a fire, block the rocks, arrows kill 3 goblins, get to town, bimble around the starter zone to level 10 with like commissions and stuff. Then get a horse and go choose a node. Yeah, that'd be a very good starter experience, but that is probably too maybe like streamlined, because there's gonna be like 4 starter zones when the game actually launches and all the nodes are level 0. There's going to be low level monsters at those level 0 nodes, or at least there should be, because as nodes level up, they'll attract higher level monsters. So I think if you do make the starting zone too focused for new players to like reach level 10 and like all your content is there to hit level 10, that would lead to an issue where all the nodes surrounding starting portals will automatically be the metropolises and like on every server. Yeah, it's all optional for sure. But if you're a new player and you see that, you're probably gonna just do that. But if like you know about Ashes, you're gonna want to leave the starting portals and go to like further away nodes. So it's all up for testing. All right, level 5. Yeah, maybe. But it's all for testing. So I'm super excited to see like when they expand the map and add more starting zones, to see what that's gonna look like and how they're gonna try to push people out to further nodes, while also keeping like a newer player experience at the further nodes as well, if that makes sense, to try to get them out from the starting portals.
Experience was bad. I wasn't expecting it to be this bad.
They try to
This is
appease
actually,
new
like, dog
players
shit new
and
player
not building
experience,
up
to be
nodes close to the
perfectly
starting
honest.
portals.
Oh, there is an icon on the map. It's just the icons are really confusing. Okay, start job. It's actually like straight away. Like I'm level 1. I've logged into the game. The game's thrown all of these quests at me. There's so many quests that I have to scroll down, so much text. And half of these quests I'm pretty sure you can't even do for quite some time.
Common sense. Went to a node, but couldn't become a citizen till level 10, so I felt like I had to backtrack anyways. That's exactly what I did on my first day or two. Because they're telling you, hey, leave Lionhold so we can get new people in and shorten down on the queue time. I'm like, okay, I'll go run to a node somewhere. And then I rank to that node. You can't become a citizen until you're level 10. The node, everyone says, all right, this might just be me, but everyone says the nodes started at level 0 and they got built up a little bit. But my experience was that I went to Miralith and it was already a level 3 node on the very first day. There's no time to build up a node in 1 to 2 hours to level 3. So every node started at level 3. So a node at level 3 attracts higher level monsters. So all the monsters around Miralith were level 8, level 9, level 10. And I was level 3, level 4. So I can't become a citizen, I can't kill anything because everything's too high level. So I had to backtrack and go back to Lionhold. Whew. And that was exhausting. It was a lot of just running around, dying, wasting time. So I think when the game actually launches and nodes are actually level 0 and there's nothing there, it's just wilderness, there's no NPCs, not even a commission board, nothing. There might be commission. Actually, no, I don't think commissions would be there at level 0. I think it's literally just supposed to be wilderness and nothing is there until it reaches level 1. So when it is level 0, I think there's supposed to be level 1, level 2 monsters out there. So we can go out and explore more effectively as new players, as starting players, when level 0 nodes are in effect.
Register for
but I think right now in this
citizenship,
first phase of the
I'm sure you
alpha,
need
they
to be,
all start at level
10
3,
before you
which
can even
prevents
do
you
that.
from running out
So
there.
why would it even give me a quest for that now? They should try and make this text a little bit more concise. That's a novel.
In return, I'll have ye harvest snowdrop
There's
plants,
so much
bring
text
them
at this
back here
sidebar to
and
read.
process them to powder at the
Kinda
herbalism
tiring.
station.
And the NPC with the AI voice acting won't shut the fuck up. Oh my god, that's annoying. I know we're early into the game, but I'm already going to say that I don't like the questing so far. I feel like half of the time I'm going to spend playing this game, when it comes to the questing, I'm going to be staring at this tiny part of the screen with my eyes squinted, trying to figure out what it actually wants me to do. So it's basically just taught me the basics of crafting. Am I actually getting rewards for this at all? Deliver it to the farm. Western Workshop. Him?
I hear all this
I'm
talk
here
of
to pick
how
up a
much
horse.
better life is gonna. Sure.
Okay.
It's an old.
I don't know. It was someone mentioned earlier, maybe a Chuck or Goblin. You only watched 10 minutes and then you couldn't anymore. I understand this might be for us that have followed Ashes for a long time and kind of know what to expect. This experience that Lazy Peon is having is a very similar experience that I had. And and I'm not even a new player. I've been playing for a year. I'm been super hyped, but this is his experience right now. And a lot of people are going to have an experience similar to this if they're just hopping to Ashes for the first time and they haven't been following the game and don't really know what it's about. So this might be kind of annoying, listening through his first playthrough and stuff, his first impressions, but this is a similar experience that I believe a lot of people will have.
Oh, we got a horse.
And I think Intrepid Studios should, really watch this video and see this experience and think oh wow, a lot of people might have this experience.
I didn't even realise that was my quest. It was just a little add-on at this side bit. The way questing information's delivered, I just find really confusing in this game.
I mean, because I had the
Let's
same
check out
experience.
horse
I had a ton of
animations.
fun.
How does it feel?
I had a ton of fun, but people are going to play for 1 to 2 hours and see this, and they're going to have a really negative time or a really negative experience and have a bad time, and they might not come back and play. They might because it's $15 with a $15 subscription every month, so they might pay $15, play this for a few hours, and say oh wow, this is kind of not fun, and cancel their subscription and never play it again.
A little bit floaty.
But if you
I'd
get
say,
past this,
with this
I'm having more.
animation,
Every time I
moving
play it, I
left
have
to
more and
right.
more fun.
Sidestep feels realistic.
The more you
Going
learn about the
backwards
game, I
feels
think you have
realistic.
so much more
Going
fun.
forwards feels pretty good. Horse riding feels okay. It just feels a bit weird when you're doing this. Literally the first. Oh, that's an Ember Spring.
I was born in the
that icon
90s.
Does not look like an Ember Spring icon. This horse is very slow. I kind of want to jump off the horse and just run. Alright, so this is an Ember Spring. Got it. I'm clicking on the map to try and move the map, and it's bringing up the quest log, which is a bit annoying.
They
like
did.
that.
I will say, not that it's a big deal, or a lot of people really care, but quest rewards, I think they doubled everything. Like, so this right here, this would now be like, 900 some XP and like 4 glint. I'm pretty sure they doubled the rewards for a lot of quests at least.
Trying to drag
So questing will feel a little bit more
but
worth it now.
because there's a circle here, it's bringing up the UI. So that's the first quest I've actually fully completed. I think all of the other quests have so many different parts to them. Wait, but I've got another quest over here. I completed a commission. When did I complete a commission? Bro, how did I complete a commission? I literally didn't. This is another thing. If you try and multi-quest, you forget what step of the quest you're on the other stuff. Because like this should be ticked off. This should show like a green tick. Because I've done that. And now it wants me to deliver it. So
That is like an annoying impression or like response. Yeah, there should be ticks, but like early phase alpha, they're gonna add ticks in, like very like obviously, right? I think they have. It's like that's not an issue. I wouldn't make that a point in any video.
Except for the mount. The mount feels off for me, like the way it turns. And the mount sprint hardly even feels like a sprint. Deliver it to the Western workshops. Okay, but who do I specifically talk to do that? If I go to exactly where the quest tells me to go to, right here, there's no NPC. I've come to the location it's told me to come to. There's 2 NPCs I can talk to, none of which I can actually deliver the item to. So I think I'm just ready to give up with the questing. Splinters from the ancient tree. I'm at the location it's told me to go to. Is this it? Oh my god, we found one.
But you only get one.
Oh, level 2.
It's to wait minutes for it to spawn again.
Firebolt. You can use the fireball whilst moving, I like that. Now we're dealing some damage, finally. I like the animations on this mob that I'm fighting. Feels very cool. What's the casting distance on this? Oh, very far. The combat feels pretty decent, which is the most important thing. As much as I think the questing kind of sucks so far, and the new player experience is really bad, the movement and the combat does feel pretty good, which was actually my biggest concern for the game. So this mob I can loot, but visually looking at the mob, it's hard to tell that I can actually loot it. I feel like there should be more of a sparkle or some kind of effect to show that it's got loot for me, because this is way too subtle. I go to these locations and there's just nothing.
Usually
to
the models are a bit
with,
smaller and you can see
it's
that you can loot them.
hidden. That it's
But the
just
otter's a bit
tedious,
big.
and it probably isn't even worth the time to do. You're probably just better off grinding mobs. Bro fucking one-shot me. Oh.
Arsonists, my level, or like they're like 3-star elites, are one-shotting me in Highwayman Hills. So if the tank doesn't have aggro and the arsonist hits me, he was one-shotting me. Let's see. I'm considering like skipping down to first impressions, or skipping down to things I like and things to improve.
Level 3. Okay, so now I'm doing this commission quest. I need to kill 30 of these level 3 mobs. Last time they kicked my ass at level 1, but now I've got some abilities.
Let's see him get away from Lionhole a little bit, maybe.
Just to see if they've got dialogue options. It's quests like these that make me not want to do quests. Quests where there's just a massive circle on the map and you basically participate in this. I actually prefer these events to the normal quests because you can just run from event to event. And
so he did complete Sweat Your Brow. He got
It'd
the
be nice if you
horseman
could
out.
hover over the event and see roughly what level the event is. I see, we've got to kill the elite mob.
One thing, here I'll point this out.
It'd be nice if
you're trying to like drag and scroll on your map, you can do that. But if you do it over top of like one of these or like a quest marker, I think a quest marker, I'm not sure for these events, like a quest marker, if you try to like drag and scroll, you will like open up your journal and look at the quest. And I think that's pretty annoying. Like I just want to like drag and scroll. And if you're zoomed in and you have like a big yellow circle for your quest and you try to scroll out of it, it'll open up your journal. I'm like, that's like a small quality of life thing. Like, I think they should remove. And if you want to look at your quest specifics and actually go open up your own journal.
you could hover over the event and see roughly what level the event is. I see, we've got to kill the elite mobs. Let's work together. Oh, he's shielding us. Nice. I love a bard. Reinforcements defeated. Oh, that was a quick one. 5 glint. Vera feels like a dangerous world. In a lot of ways, I'm getting classic WoW vibes.
This is a
Dear
very
every
dangerous
single
world for sure.
healer or bard in every MMO that just runs past and drops people is actually part of the same quest. The Warhelm Curse. It's just got so many steps that I confused it for two separate quests. I mean, what else can I possibly do? I've clicked
Alasia Perli. I have no idea how to say your name. I'm sorry. But welcome. Is PvP active everywhere? If so, how can one reasonably AFK? PvP is active everywhere. Open world PvP is very much a thing, but there's also a corruption system to combat mindless PvP. Yeah, if you want to AFK, yeah, log out. So how open world PvP works is if someone wants to kill you and they attack you, their nameplate will go from white to purple. And if they're purple, they're in a flag state, like flag for PvP combat. If you fight back and your nameplate also goes purple, then you're both flag for PvP and it's just, you know, an all-out brawl, kill each other. If you do not fight back and that person who flagged for PvP kills you, their nameplate will turn red and they become corrupt. When you are corrupt, you have serious stat dampening, like debuffs on you. You can drop your equipment. You have a very high chance of dropping your equipment. I believe guards will kill you on sight, so it's tough to go to town. You can't trade people, so if you have guildmates, you can't trade them to give them your equipment to prevent yourself from losing equipment when you do die. So going corrupt is very, very punishing. You can work off corruption by going out and killing monsters, and like you'll slowly lose your corruption. But if someone finds you in that time and kills you, then you could potentially lose a lot of your shit. So the only time that like going corrupt and PvPing in the open world is actually viable, and it's not just for purpose or for the purpose of griefing someone, is if you're in a guild and you go to a point of interest and another guild is grinding like a really good spot, and your guild wants to grind there. You want to kill those monsters. You want to get that experience. You want to get the potential loot drops. Then your guild can go, you know, kill them, go corrupt, wipe them out to take over that point of interest spot. And now the guild who you just killed can come back and kill you while you're corrupt, and you can lose your shit. So it is very punishing to go corrupt in open world PvP. So if you're just AFK, sure, someone can just come up and kill you and grief you, but that is 10 times out of 10 not in their best interest if they care about their progression in the game and losing any type of equipment. If they don't like you and they just want to grief you and that's how they have fun, then as of right now, there's nothing to prevent that, I guess. I don't know. I think like Asmongold had a big issue this past weekend. I'm going to watch a video about that next, where I think he kept dying in the spawn area and like the spawn town and whatnot. I think something that they should add is just safe zones in towns. I think that would make a lot of sense. But as soon as you walk outside those gates, then like the open world PvP system is active. And there's also areas like lawless zones. When you reach the outskirts of the map, there's lawless zones, and if you enter those lawless zones, then open world PvP is active and there's no corruption system out there. So anyone can kill you just to kill you, and there's no penalty to their character.
On every single thing. Oh my god, and after being stuck on this quest for literally an hour, it gives 200 XP and 3 glint.
I think that
After going
answered your
through
question.
all of this. That's the same as killing 2 mobs. And it's a level 1 quest, which is basically the tutorial. And I'm hard stuck on it. I want to do commissions. I like the idea of the commission board.
So seems like it's a lot of just like quest
so the time
related
is
stuff.
now 1741. Let's see
with
how
his
long
first
it takes
impressions.
on horseback. When I first
Yeah,
saw
sounds good.
the
Yeah, no
Alpha
problem.
2 Phase 1 world map, it didn't look that big.
I think
But actually being in the
as a casual player or someone that's like not a part of like a massive guild or anything, I don't think the open world PvP is going to affect you in any meaningful way, to be honest. They can steal your glint. So when you just die in the world, you will always lose some glint, and glint is what you get off of monsters when you kill them, and you can turn glint into currency. So you will lose some glint if you die, and they can loot it off your body, and you will lose some materials. Like if you chop down this tree and you get some timber, you will lose some of that timber, and they can pick it up off your body. So, you know, if they see you chopping down a bunch of trees and they're like, I don't want to spend 10 minutes chopping down trees. I just want to kill you and take trees for myself. You know, I guess they could do that and take stuff off your body. But you don't drop equipment. The big difference is if you die while you're corrupt, you drop your equipment. You can drop your, you know, legendary sword that you have equipped. You can drop your legendary helmet. So I guess people could put on, you know, some scrub gear and then go PvP and they just lose scrub gear. And I guess that's a way around it. But it's only 3 weekends into alpha testing so far. And every single weekend they have had changes to the corruption system to make going corrupt more and more punishing every single weekend. So they are really trying to prevent griefing. So if, you know, open world PvP like that or griefing becomes more and more of an issue, I'm sure they'll keep nerfing people that go corrupt. So basically, if you just kill a random AFK person in town, all you get is some glint and maybe materials, whereas the NPC guards can kill you and anyone else in the town can kill you, and you might drop equipped items. Correct. Yeah, if you kill someone in town and you go corrupt, everyone can just immediately kill you and guards will turn to kill you. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure guards right now will attack you if you're corrupt, but I haven't seen it in person yet, so I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's how it's supposed to work. Yeah, it's like, and also if you're in town, odds are you have your stuff in storage already, and you've already sold your glint for currency. So there's not really anything on your body that you would lose anyways. Going all the way back to, yeah, how can one reasonably AFK? Yeah, AFK in town, no issue. I've AFK'd in town. I've AFK'd sitting on top of a mountain next to other people, just gathering materials and stuff, and you know, it's no issue. Yeah, as a casual player that's not in any like big guild trying to compete for like high level resources and like high level grinding spots, I don't think it's gonna affect you at all. And if it does prove to affect a lot of casual players, they'll continue to keep nerfing players that choose to go corrupt and, you know, the open world PvP system. But open world PvP will never go away. CC My Life, thank you for the follow. This is very much a PvX game, and Steven will stay true to a PvX game. So the threat of open world PvP will never go away. There will never be any PvP and PvE servers. Every server will always be PvX, and there will always be the threat of someone killing you. But Intrepid Studios can keep making the corrupt person, you know, more and more
very quickly realize
punishing if you do go to corrupt.
Bloody huge, and this is just a tiny slice of the game. The world in this game, when it's
so this, for those that don't know, this is just the Riverlands. This is 5 nodes out of 85 planned nodes. This is like 55 square kilometers out of the planned like 1,500. So this is a very, very small portion of the full release map.
fully released, it's going to be absolutely gigantic. Possibly the
well,
biggest.
Okay, also right now, I'll say this, Chuck. Yes, you AFK'd in town and someone came back purple trying to kill you. Rare, yes. So I'll also say, like, this is the alpha, you know, nothing really means anything. And there's no, like, reputation on the line. You can just make a character with a random name. And there's no, your personal reputation is on the line. Now, if the real game comes out and, you know, your name's Good Time Chuck and you're there killing people in town, everyone, and like, this is your main character and you're level 50, everyone in the world or everyone in that node in the surrounding area is going to know Good Time Chuck is going to grief you in town, and everybody hate Good Time Chuck. Good Time Chuck sucks. If you guys see him in the open world, go corrupt, kill him, and let us know you killed him, and we won't kill you if you're corrupt, because you did our node a service by killing this guy. Yeah, people are going to remember you. I think reputation will be a big factor in the game.
No world ever made. We got a few floaty boys up
but
there.
With it being alpha right now,
in the distance.
You know, people don't
what
care.
What do you mean, Tab? Am I taming this spider? There's no way. That's terrifying. I hate spiders. I'm stroking it. My character's absolutely nuts. You've got a screw loose, mate. What are you doing?
I think this is really silly.
Oh my god. Hunter experience. What the fuck?
And then you just get a spider in
to
your
hunt
pocket.
the mob, my character ran over to it and pet it on the head. I have successfully made it.
I'm sure they're gonna change that eventually, because that's like you're hunting creatures or hunting animals. That made a lot of sense. In the Freehold live stream, Steven killed a pig. And he was petting the pig and then killed it. That makes a lot of sense. Because it was like in a farm on a freehold. But if you're just walking up to a random spider in the open world, I'm sure they have to have some other means of gathering that spider carcass, is my guess. But who knows what that's gonna look like. Because right now it does feel a little silly.
To the Winstead node. I mean, it took me 9 minutes, but a solid 4 minutes of that was spent fighting my way inside. So to get from here to here is like 7 minutes. I'm not gonna lie, visually the game doesn't look very beautiful in the winter. I don't know if it's the lighting.
That's actually, I thought this looked really good in the winter, to be honest. I really like the winter
but
look.
Winter combined with nighttime, game looks kind of ugly. Game looks kind of outdated. I'm sure they can do something with the
And I mentioned this earlier. If for anyone new coming in, I've been to places that Steven's been in developer live streams, and I've put it side by side with me in game. And it does, what we're playing alpha right now does visually look worse, but I think they just dumb down the graphics a little bit, dumb down like textures and whatnot, just to make it easier for people's PCs to run, because it's an alpha and we're testing. We're not trying to play a fully polished game, right? But the fact that Steven's been playing on builds of the game that do visually look better already, I think, it's the visuals and graphics right now isn't going to be an issue, because it's going to look a lot better, and they already have access to a better looking game right now.
The visuals to fix that. I don't know what it is. Probably a combination of lighting and
Yeah, I'm sure they have
shadows
certain
and
things turned off just to
storage
focus on
collage. Here we
server-related
go.
performance.
So now
Absolutely.
I should be able to finish the quest. Whoa. What did I get for that? 1.3k XP for a very, very dangerous journey.
Oh.
Let's see if
I think
we can
that
figure
guy was
out how
corrupt,
fishing
actually.
works. So I'm at a lake.
His name was Red.
Looks like the
And guards
perfect
didn't kill
spot
him.
for some fishing. Maybe here? Skill.
Oh, he's figuring out fishing.
Ah, here it
Okay, you did
is.
find it. Okay,
So how
cool.
does this work?
That's
Okay.
something I have yet to do.
We're fishing. Does it just auto catch the fish? I think it does. So the fishing's kind of AFK. Cooking the fish is like a processing skill. It's
Do
like
you have
an
to
AFK
keep
thing. You
pressing
just set
that
it and it
button?
goes and cooks on
Or
its
do you just
own.
press it once and
I
you'll
really
just
feel
keep
like
fishing
cooking
over and
should be
over
an
again?
AFK processing skill. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Alright, is that my timber task done? It is. Now I have 50 oak
Oh,
timber.
we're in
to
UE
inventory.
5.1 will look a lot
And
better
now I'm
for
a
this
lumber
version.
miller level
Good.
3. Oak caravan carriage. So let's add all of that.
Yeah, you can
Craft.
fish.
How long is that going to take to craft? Oh,
And it's AFK
pretty
fishing.
damn quick. So now I've got these carrots. How much is it worth? 1 silver 50. Sell the wood directly. Seems better. Tried out the mage for a bit. Let's go try out the fighter. I can't really get much further on the mage because I don't have a group to play with, and I can't find anyone
Oh.
to group with in the chat. Very smooth. What is this? We found some treasure. Heh?
I see this actually. That's funny. That little tombstone, I've seen multiple of those tombstones around the world, like in a graveyard, on top of a mountain, and it just says master.
Very smooth. What is this?
I want to know what that
We found
is.
some treasure.
Like, that's all it says. Like, what the hell does that mean? I'm very curious. I wonder if anyone knows what these are for.
Heh? Master. Is that an Easter egg or something? I'll be a pussy and attack it from range. 1,000 experience for killing that boss. If unsuccessful, that's level 5. That's such a good event for XP. Next, I made a cleric
Yeah,
and
those
played around with that off
those like
camera
open
for
world
a-
events
If
like
unsuccessful,
this,
that's level
those yellow
5.
circles, they are pretty good sources of experience.
That's such a good event for XP. Next, I made a cleric and played around with that off camera for a bit, and once again, this was
Okay.
another class that felt
He's
pretty
about to get
good
into
early
things
on.
that he liked
Then
and
I jumped
things to
back on the
improve
mage,
on.
did some chill grinding, ventured over to another node called Miralef, somehow got recognised by another player despite not using my YouTube name, and that's where I'll be wrapping up this first impressions at around 11
funny.
hours or so of gameplay. Next, let's summarise this video with the things I liked and the things that I think need
Right,
to
let's
be
hear it.
improved. Things I liked. The combat feels very good, even early on with a few abilities.
I will say, these first impressions are just the first like hour of gameplay. It's like it's the new player experience just for the first hour. And it doesn't really give Ashes a fair shake. Because this was a very similar experience that I had. You know, it was kind of like, meh, things are confusing, a lot of things to figure out, things don't feel worth it, the quests don't feel great. After the first couple hours and you start learning about the game, it feels much, much better and it gets much, much more fun. So a lot of people are going to see this first impression because it's Lazy Peon, right? And have his opinion as well. Like, look, 212,000 people. That's a lot of people that don't watch Ashes of Creation regularly, and like all they know about Ashes of Creation is this video.
Abilities, it feels responsive, impactful, and fluid. General movement feels pretty good, there's no inertia on movement, dodge roll feels responsive, and I like the sprint. The animations aren't 100% there yet, but the
That's why he stopped
movement
him.
doesn't
Yeah.
feel clunky. Every
he should have to to give it like a fair shake. He should at least get to level 10, I would say. When you start getting more abilities that feel better, get it into some groups and grind some points of interest a little bit. Try some of the artisan professions. I mean, maybe try a caravan. Just like try more of their systems, because I feel like you need to do. There's so much more to do in Ashes right now. In these first like hour of gameplay isn't
level
enough.
up feels satisfying due to getting points to spend on multiple talent trees with class talents, weapon talents, and stamina talents, as well as raw stats. You really feel much stronger after every level. I love the damage numbers, I think they're perfect, it reminds me of WoW Classic, and when a big crit pops up it feels good and looks good. The world size of this game is going to be absolutely colossal.
I love the combat.
Phase 1, which
love
is
the combat.
only
I love
55
leveling up.
kilometers
Leveling up feels
squared,
fantastic.
Massive.
It feels
I've
worth
still
it. It feels
only seen
rewarding.
a small part of it, yet the full release is intended to be 1,200 kilometers squared, 23 times larger. You don't realize how big the world is until you play the game. This is something that really
Yes, the world right now,
me.
Riverlands is like
I like that the world
5% of
feels
that
dangerous.
full
I was
release
trying
game.
my very best not to die due to the XP debt and losing glint. Dying should have consequences, although I'm wondering if the XP debt is necessary, considering the worst part of death is losing half of your glint. I like that you level up slowly and every upgrade feels impactful. Even at level 6 it felt good to get a random grey item drop in a slot where I had nothing equipped. Getting a green item feels super lucky. So far it seems Ashes of Creation will have a similar feeling to Vanilla WoW when it comes to progression being long, slow and satisfying. I really enjoyed the world events. As much as I didn't enjoy the questing so far, the events felt pretty good, both rewarding in terms of loot and bringing random players together. At most events, players were naturally forming groups to lessen the chances of death. If death had zero consequences, perhaps players wouldn't be forming groups for them. I think the combat sound effects so far are pretty good and help the combat feel more impactful, and when the Alpha 2 test came down after the weekend, I did have the itch to play the game more the next day.
Yeah. The game in its current state is not to be enjoyed. But it is, you can have a lot of fun still. Yeah, it's like what they have planned for the game and what they have right now, it's just like so small. The amount of content is so little compared to what they have planned for the game. So having like a real opinion or like a concrete opinion about the game in its current state is that you're not supposed to have an opinion like that. So that's the downside of having, an open development project and having this alpha being so like broadcasted and not under an NDA in any capacity. But that's what Steven wants, Steven tries to make it very clear that this game is not for everyone. And he tries to set expectations like, hey, this is a true alpha. And despite everything Steven's doing to try to reach out to everyone, a lot of people will just see Lazy Peon's video and that's their opinion about the game now as well.
And was sad that I couldn't play. So as much as the game has a lot of stuff to improve upon,
it was left
it's a
wanting to
very good
play
sign
more.
that I have that feeling already. Things I think need to be improved. In terms of graphics and visuals, I still think there's some improvements to be made. I don't know why, but the winter season combined with nighttime looked very ugly. I actually think despite being made in an older engine, Throne and Liberty looks visually superior to Ashes, even though Ashes is UE5. Perhaps this is due to
I
a
don't
lack
think it
of art
will.
style, perhaps it's lighting and
Later
shadows,
down the
I'm
line.
not sure. I would expect this aspect of the game to be improved later anyway, because graphics are usually the last thing to improve in development, but in its current state it's not at the level you'd expect from a game made in Unreal Engine 5. The new player experience at the moment isn't great, and to be fair, this isn't so
Yeah, their early opinions are mostly unfair, or unfair mostly. There's a notion of them. There are. That's why. So, after the first weekend, I was watching a bunch of first impression videos, and they're all generally positive. The only like negative ones that I found was like Blue Squadron, and I think he had a podcast with a couple other people that kind of griped about the game a little bit. But a majority of videos I saw were pretty positive, which is kind of surprising to me. Also, to be fair, a lot of people I subscribe to on YouTube are people making Ashes of Creation content for the past couple of years. So of course they're going to be flooding with, good impressions. But I try to look for people with bad impressions, and I just couldn't find them as definitely not as abundant as good impressions.
something you'd usually focus on at this stage of development. However, I think it'd be way better to have the player engage in more combat and get 1 or 2 levels under their belt before you throw tons of talk to me quests at them, and try to introduce a relatively complex artisan skill system. Early on, when it comes to new player experience, you really want to play to a game's strengths and wow the player, not overwhelm and confuse them. My quest log was rammed with multiple step quests within like 15 minutes and it didn't feel good. Keep things simple early on and slowly introduce things to the player.
Also, I'll say this. Yes, it's alpha, yes, it's testing, and but this is what the journals currently look like. Oh, we get tick marks now. And if no one is complaining about the quest and everything right now, they might think like, oh, it's not that big of an issue. Like, people don't really care about the quest in its current state. That's something we'll save later down the line, or we might not really reiterate on very much. So the fact so many people are giving feedback about the quest and everything, at least make it a very known issue that, hey, we're going to have to maybe rethink about how we're doing our journals, how we're doing our quests right now. So I guess alpha, yes, we're focused on bugs and everything, but I still think it's really good feedback to give. Even though it might not be exactly what they're looking for, but at least if there's a big influx of people complaining about the same thing, like, all right, well, maybe we were going to think about quests, a year from now. Maybe we should start thinking about it in like 3 months and really get it right, because a lot of people seem to care about it.
Over time as they level up, it will feel much better. Questing right now doesn't feel good due to multiple reasons. Quest markers are confusing and they don't disappear when you've taken a quest.
Yeah, so the issue is being negative about the game and not offering constructive feedback. Just being negative to be negative. They did buff quest rewards, correct. But also it's just like the new player experience about quests. Like, a lot of them were bugged, or the journals were too much. Like, too much dialogue in the journals, and the quest markers being a little confusing. So like, there's like a lot of like little things about questing. Not even just the rewards itself, it's just other things about the quest.
You're able to take quests that are way above
Watch
your
this
level
video to
without
see if
a
they're
quick
valid.
visual indicator displaying it as such. Vague quest
I mean, the one I can
text,
think of right now is
specific
Blue
misleading
Squadron,
quest
probably.
markers telling you to go somewhere but there's nothing at the location, and some interactables being very difficult to see. In its current design, I can see most people looking up quest guides online due to it not
Goblin
being
doesn't
very
want to explore his
intuitive.
search history.
Some assets don't feel like they fit in
It's like,
with the topography
that's a deep, dark place I don't want to get into right now.
of the landscape. The Lionhold area in particular just doesn't give me the vibe of abandoned ruins from
I'm not in the
thousands of years
mindset for
ago,
that.
as you've got rather pristine looking walls, the placement of the architecture seems random, and it lacked visual cohesion in my opinion. Chopping trees and mining ores feels good, although so far about 10 hours in, it's not immediately obvious how focusing on life
It is a
skills
Corona,
will
yes.
yield more money than just mob
I had
grinding.
a
Perhaps it gets better later on, but from
peach
a new
and
player
blackberry
perspective,
cider,
it doesn't
and now I'm
appear
having a
super
Corona.
worth it in the beginning.
Store
I
run
actually
time.
think it'd be best to not introduce artisan skills right away.
I'm sorry I
at the
did this to you,
beginning of the
Goblin.
game. Let the player go out, explore, get some levels under their belt. Then at level 5, give the player a rather rewarding tutorial that makes it immediately apparent as to the benefits of artisan skills. Due to its complexity, I don't think this is something you should be front-loading to the player at level 1. Animation.
That makes sense. Because the artisan system is very, very complex, and kind of like lumping it together with like your mount quests as well. Yeah, having maybe a couple different artisan quests, like a tutorial quest for each like artisan profession, might be good, or at least like lumped together. Like you have the lumberjacking and lumber milling and the carpentry, because they all kind of go together. Like have that lumped into one like tutorial quest, just so people get a taste of a specific chain of an artisan profession.
Whilst mostly looking good, could still use some improvements, such as
Actually,
the horses
rather
turning
have a
animation,
square. What is a
and
square?
I'm concerned with the grouping situation in Ashes. So far, the game seems to be designed in a way where grouping is much, much better than playing solo. I agree this should be the case, but you need to find the balance where it's not so much better in a group that the game isn't worth playing if you can't find one.
Goblin. We're talking about this, man. We're talking about this. You gotta slow down on the squares.
At level 8, I feel like solo grinding isn't worth it, and when I can't find a group to play with, I feel kinda lost. Solo play should definitely be a viable option.
I don't know.
If I only
I
have
learned
30
something.
minutes to kill and I just want to jump on and grind for a bit, it should feel rewarding. If everything requires a group, then the game will feel very all or nothing. You're either locked in for a 2-hour plus gaming session, or you won't play the game at all.
I'm not your parent. I'm not your father.
Find a decent
you know.
balance, and also come up with solutions to
You can
help
do what you want to
randoms
do.
group together for quests and elite mobs. Because typically when new players start an MMO, they won't have a guild or group to play with right off the bat at level 1. You usually play an MMO for a bit, see if it's for you, then you commit to a guild if you like what you see.
But hey, I'm a medical
If
professional.
the early game isn't somewhat solo friendly, then I can see people feeling a bit stuck. But that's pretty much it for my first impressions on Ashes Alpha 2 Phase 1 after the...
So a better balance of solo versus group. Doesn't feel solo friendly. I mean, you can do solo. The game is balanced for groups, right? Stevens, I think, always said that this is gonna be a game that's for guilds, it's for social gameplay, and it's gonna be balanced for group compositions. But there are going to be solo things to do, like social organizations. Like I think it's like Black Talon. I know Loreforge is like the Black Talon Trading Company as their guild, but I think there's also a Black Talon Trading Company social organization. There's religious progression. Divine Nodes are gonna be pretty much focused on like solo content, or at least to get into a mayor role. It's gonna be focused on PvE solo kind of content. At least that was the impression I had reading through the wiki and whatnot. So there will eventually be a lot more solo focused things. So if people who do want to play by themselves, they're going to have a route to go. But definitely right now, when it's just like super grindy POI stuff, it's definitely more group focused. But that'll slightly shift. It's like 90% group, 10% solo. It'll probably start shifting to maybe like, I would say 75 to 70% group and like 25 to 30% solo content. Maybe less solo content, but I think it'll shift a little bit. True, but you right as hell. No denying it. I like to group up generally when I feel like it and in the mood, mostly questing. I think for more solo, but let's group up to achieve something great throughout the experience. Yeah. Oh, dude, hold on. Uncommon Sense. Check the YouTube chat. Please pick any other beer than Corona. That is F tier beverage. Are you kidding me, Uncommon Sense? I want to know, what is your choice of beer? Let me... Modelo, Great and Corona. Okay, Modelos are okay. I will say, I don't know if my taste buds are a bit off. This Corona doesn't feel like a typical Corona. People hate on you for drinking Corona too. I don't know. I like Corona. I like the smell of it. You know, when you smell a Corona, you know it's a Corona. Corona with a lemon instead of a lime. Interesting. You know, what I'll do with blue moons, I will occasionally pour orange juice in my blue moon because it already has like an orangey kind of flavor to it, or you're supposed to like have a blue moon with like an orange slice on it. So like I call it a breakfast beer. Get some OJ in your beer. Fat Tire. I definitely had Fat Tire. I can't think of like anything like any Fat Tire specific beer if I liked it or not. I know the name, so I probably liked it. But going back to solo versus group, Goblin, I totally get it. Most of your questing, you think you prefer more solo. Yes, someone... I was watching another Twitch streamer, Cherokee Man, like in a couple of numbers, I believe. Or maybe someone else. But he kind of brought up this point where when he does group content, it feels like you're locked in to like being in that group for, you know, like an hour or whatever. You can't just like, you know, walk away and go get a beverage because like you're actively grinding mobs. You can't just sit down and walk away. Like you're fully invested for an hour or however long, couple hours. So like a lot of people will prefer solo stuff because they can just, you know, go out questing, go kill a monster, you know, the doorbell rings and you can just like walk away, sit down, ration up and go like answer the door. And like you're not super committed and you can log off at any time, right? But when you're in a group, you feel like you owe your group member something and you can't just walk away. You said 2 years in Prague, Czech Republic. I assure you, Corona is F tier in the world of beers. If you need to add citrus to beer, if you need to add citrus to keep the flies out, you know the beer is shit. Corona is better than Bud Light. I'll give that much credit. Interesting. I will say, I mean, I don't prefer Corona over a lot of other beers. I was just at the store. I got ciders for my wife. I'm like, you know, I'll just get Coronas. It's been a while. But I will say there's other better beers for sure. Corona is definitely isn't my first pick, but it's just kind of, I saw it, I'm like, yeah, I'll go for a Corona. Yeah. It's like commit or piss off, get out of the group. Like what? Sometimes I have real life stuff to attend to for like, and you need a second or two there. Yeah, for sure. Exactly. Think Budweiser is trash. Oh, good time, Chuck. I experienced your veteran humor firsthand. I mean, I got a lot of stuff in common sense. I've done like ale trails and stuff with my wife where we've gone to like close to 30 like local breweries. Like we have a lot of breweries out where I live. And I've tried a bunch of different things, but you know, sometimes a Corona is just, you know, I can go for a Corona. Okay, let's see. Let's just look up Ashes of Creation. And I am sure we will find Asmongold drama. Okay. Do we want to watch Asmongold? Do we want to watch Narc? Or do we want to watch Nice? I think those are probably like the three biggest ones off the top of my head I can think of. I think Asmongold is reacting over Nice's video. Neither. None of them. Oh, you brew your own beer? Get out. Okay, alright, hold on. So me and Move or We're Dead in our Twitch chat. Me and that guy. We tried to brew our own beer at one point. And you know, it took like a month plus or whatever. And I think it was supposed to be a stout. And you measure, I forget what it's called, and Common Sense probably knows what it is. But like you measure something before like you lock the beer up or whatever, and like it ferments for multiple weeks. But you measure something with a little stick, and then after it's done fermenting, you measure it again, and like the difference between the two numbers is supposed to tell you what the ABV is of your beer. And I think it was supposed to be a stout or like a porter, so like a darker beer, usually higher in ABV. I think ours turned out to be like a 2% beer. It's something went terribly wrong in the process, but it was an okay like coffee tasting beer. It wasn't too bad, but it was definitely not what we tried to make. Ooh, all right. 2% is less. Yeah, 2% is nothing. Might as well be drinking water. Yeah, 1% is basically water. Okay. Nice. I think Asmongold reacted to Nice's video. He's got 59k views. Holy cow. That's huge. Probably, yeah, because Asmongold probably linked his video and everything. Awesome. That's dope. Okay. Since he reacted Nice, we'll watch Nice's. Cooper's brew kits. Yeah, I had a brew kit. I swear I followed all the directions correct, but something went terribly wrong. Coors Banquet. I'm not sure if I've had a Coors Banquet. I was at a bachelor party a few weekends ago. I think Coors Banquet was there, but I'm not sure if I had one. Coors, I think Coors is alright. I just don't typically drink Coors. Yeah, I'm similar, Goblin. I just kind of drink whatever. They're going to ham on the banquet. All right, so this is probably my last one. I'll probably be like 1 o'clock in the morning by the time I finish this one. So this is the Asmongold drama. I'm sure probably plenty of you are already aware, but I haven't seen any videos about it yet. I've only heard about it. So
it's nice.
Let's get into
I hope
it.
all of you MMO enjoyers are having a nice day. Today, we have quite the debate and news
Get
to
your
discuss
Doritos and get your
involving
Corona.
MMO Ashes of Creation, which is still in its Alpha 2 phase, and Asmongold. Apologies in advance as I've been very sick this past week and lost my voice, so I might sound a little different and audio may not be as good. But anyways, I was originally uploading this video titled Ashes of Creation is not a gank box. This video was to highlight the reality of how penalizing corruption and non-consensual PvP is, despite the pre-Alpha 2 notion that the game was going to be a gank box in which you'd constantly be killed and or griefed via open world PvP.
Yeah, a lot of people that
the timing of this video could
complain,
not
but
have been worse, and thus
I just
here
think
I
that's the
am
case.
re-recording it. Why, may you ask? Well, Asmongold finally logged into Ashes of Creation's Alpha 2 test here on the game's third weekend, and well, it went something like this.
I'm in. Holy shit. Oh my god. Yo, what's up, boys? Wait.
KO
This
Asmon
guy's
is his
attack-
name.
How does this guy attack me? Wait, I'm getting killed. Oh my god.
People are healing him. People are trying to keep him
I
alive.
survived. Okay.
This is going to be like
What do I even need to do here? It's gonna be too bright.
ingrained in the history of Vera.
Oh, somebody killed me. Oh shit! Wait, I
Dipper
died.
just one-shot him.
Oh shit! I lost experience too.
20 XP.
Okay, well. All right. All right. I think this is gonna have to be a game that I'm gonna have to play off stream. I can't do this. Like.
I'm sure he's probably playing off stream,
Yeah,
right?
sorry. Like it's
And
unplayable.
he's gonna come
It
out
is.
with
It's
a
unplayable.
first impression video.
As funny as it
like,
is,
a couple
I
weeks from
can't
now.
do anything. I mean, yeah, and I know like what will happen is that if I level up there's just gonna be people that are a higher level that are gonna do the same.
It's simply, I think when Asmongold does like reviews for video games, he usually puts in like 50 to 100 hours. Like he gives the game a fair shake before he does like review videos. So I'm sure because he streams all the time. So he's got to find some time to stream offline. So it might take a couple weeks, but I'm sure he's probably going to make like a first impression video or something once he gets enough time in.
Same thing, right?
Because that's such a shitty
just-
experience.
Yeah.
That's so crappy.
Okay. Okay. I'm
Someone
dead
said
again.
leave the
All
bald
right,
one alone.
And then I got experience and I lost experience. Okay.
If I never died throughout these first 3 weekends, I would probably be level 15 right now. I've died so many times and lost so much experience. Like, I would probably be a full level above what I am right now.
All right.
Oh. Laid up. Okay, hold on. All right. Just so I'm streaming a little bit longer, and I can add to this a little bit. There's some ongoing or some joke with Steven, the creative director of Ashes of Creation. How do I type in Ashes of Creation? I don't get the official account. What is this shit? Okay, maybe I'll just talk about it. What? That is crazy. I can type in Ashes of Creation now. I don't get the official Ashes of Creation account. Maybe I missed it. But essentially, when they did the character creator, I just went back a bunch. When they did the character creator live stream, they had a pre-made Asmongold character, but Steven called him Asmonbald because I guess he's balding a little bit. It did look like Asmon, and he was bald, but he's not. He's clearly not bald.
Oh shit!
So I don't exactly know what that's about.
Okay, well. All right.
I might went back too far.
All right. I think this is gonna have to be a game that I'm gonna have to play off stream.
Right here. Okay.
Okay.
We're back up.
All right. Like just like spammed and like attacked and everything. So.
Of his receding hairline, like it doesn't even look that bad.
Just like it's just. Oh god.
And Steven comes in. Anyone griefing the bald one, I will personally ban Hammer. He is trying to learn the game. Leave the dude alone.
Oh man. Turn PvP off? I can't. It gets old really fast, and there's also like people following me around, and then it's gonna create a lot of drama when
I'm curious. Because I never watched Asmongold playing WoW or anything. What was his experience in WoW? Like he was like growing, and no, he was nowhere near as big as he is now, I'm sure. But when he was like a big streamer in WoW, did people try to grief him all the time, or like what was that experience? Does anyone know?
Like when other people
Yes,
get
the same in any game he plays. Yeah, I'm sure.
banned for me.
But like, yeah, I'm curious how it was in WoW. Or maybe there's a lot of instance content in WoW, or there's not open world PvP. But there definitely is open world PvP in WoW, or at least there was in Classic. Yeah, if there's instance content in WoW, then yeah, it makes plenty of sense.
Me like for attacking me, and they're gonna be like, oh, that's not fair, it's preferential treatment, and it's just gonna create a lot of like tension and drama, and I just kind of don't want to. Okay.
And he DC'd anyways.
Okay, it's just gonna. I just don't want to deal with it, right?
Now, this has since bred a lot of discussion and debate around the Ashes of Creation community and perhaps the broader MMO community. I happened to be
Leave the bald
online
one
when
alone.
all this drama, if you will, was occurring. And from the system messages posted by Steven, I just knew what was going on. People were flooding to Asmongold's location.
Look at the chat.
Zone chat
LOL,
was
Steven has
filled with
spoken.
anger and debate as people argued about whether or not it was okay for them to grieve Asmongold as he loaded into the starter zone. Was it okay to just kill him as soon as he loads into the game? For those of you not aware, Ashes of Creation does have open world PvP, and that's what this video was originally going to focus on. There is a somewhat intricate corruption system that balances this capability of non-consensual PvP
Leave Brittany
by
alone.
punishing the person doing the killing.
That's a throwback.
Assuming the other player did not flag up / attack back or consent to this, right? I won't go too much into detail with this as I've done so in too many videos, but Intrepid Studios, developer of this MMO, has made a lot of progress in balancing this corruption system to the point it is extremely detrimental for you to go corrupted, and it is very seldom seen. In fact, just days ago, we received a patch updating the corruption system to be even more harsh and get rid
Like
of some of
every
those
single weekend,
workarounds
they're
that players were
nerfing
using.
and
Not only
nerfing
do you
corrupted
drop
players.
up to 3 pieces of gear, incur what seems to be increased.
You're guaranteed to drop equipment. That shield is sick. I would say the gear Steven had on during the Firebrand showcase, his gear is really, really cool. His shield is like glowing red. Yeah, this more XP debt, you move slower, you drop more resources, less damage mitigation, health, and man, 35% less health. And you deal 35% less damage. That is crazy. This is corruption too. Corruption can keep going up to higher tiers. Yeah, guards will attack you and players will hunt you. Slay monsters or die to reduce your corruption. Crazy. So I guess if you're a big group like this and you wipe out another guild grinding a POI, either you have to grind that POI in like a couple minutes to get all the corruption off your players, or I guess like if you straight up die and like find someone in your guild that's not corrupted to go pick up all your shit and give it back to you after you lose your corruption.
XP debt have reduced combat efficacy, but now you also have a movement speed reduction and you have this new Blight debuff. Here is Steven explaining the Blight debuff on Pirate Software stream recently.
Blight is essentially a cumulative PK score that gets kept track of as a stat on your character. And even if you have no corruption, but you killed 30 people over the last 5 days and you worked off that corruption, your 31st kill will accrue much faster corruption, and so will your 32nd and 33rd.
People are going to be going for high Blight
regardless of your
scores.
corruption states. So that is intended to help kind of curtail the amount of corruption.
It's like people can just, you know, player kill similar, like the same level player, and just get a little corrupt and like go kill 5 or 10 mobs and get the corruption right off. But this makes it so if you kill 50 people of your same level, your corruption won't just be, you know, corrupt level 1. Because you killed so many people and your Blight so high, you're going to go to corrupt 2 or corrupt 3, depending on how many people you've killed in the past. Interesting.
Corruption that's happening.
I did not know that.
There will be a religious-based quest that through the investment of resources and time, players can reduce that cumulative score to bring themselves back down.
Interesting.
So, as I
Cool.
mentioned, there was a lot of debate and semantics as a result of the Asmongold drama. Was Steven showing preferential treatment? Is this not a PvP-focused MMO, and thus people should be allowed to kill Asmongold if they want to? There was a lot of discussion on this, and GMs even disabled PvP on our server as a result of the Asmon killings, though it was too late and he had already given up on attempting to have a normal experience. I personally believe there is a difference between PvP and griefing. There is a difference between...
But I'm glad at least, you know, Asmongold, he knew like, hey, I can't play this online. because Peter's going to grief me. And he didn't immediately say like, oh, Ash is like a shit game. Why is open world PvP available everywhere, even in the starting areas? Like, there's like thumbs down, thumbs down, thumbs down. He didn't shit on it. He just said like, he knew like, well, this is how the game's supposed to be, and this is the threat of me being a big streamer. And he's like, I'm just gonna have to play offline. So I'm glad at least he took that route instead of just saying like, oh, start shitting on the game, because he just kept getting griefed.
PvP and stream sniping. There is a difference between PvP and harassment. Steven went as far as to even ban some of the individuals for the repeated attacks on Asmon during this time.
So I have said many times in the past that our stance on griefing will always be it's an actionable offense. And to be fair, the players that I banned yesterday are players who I gave 3 separate warnings to stop griefing this brand new logged in player. That isn't preferential treatment. I don't care if it was Asmongold or Joe Schmo off the side of the street. If it's a new player trying to learn the game, you going and harassing and killing that person for no political motivation, for no opportunity cost, for no scarcity of resources, all the reasons why PvP should exist, you are doing it for opposite of that. You are doing it to harass a person off of the server. By all means, go find a different community. That is not our intent, and you are exploiting our systems.
Good. Hell yeah. No, I 100% agree with that.
I like how Steven
That's rad
stands
as
by
hell,
this.
man.
This is what he's always said.
Our
He's
server is
standing by
already home
it,
to a couple
and actually
of
put it into practice by if he actually banned people. That's crazy.
streamers, and people express dissatisfaction with another streamer in Asmongold arriving as well. However, this is something Asmon is used to. He loads into a game and there's players swarming all around him, wanting to be seen on screen, wanting some sort of acknowledgement from Asmongold the Bald. The difference with this MMO is that PvP is essentially always on. No matter what side
are pretty
you are
cool.
on in this debate,
Big
I think
dinosaurs.
it's fair to say that Asmongold has a lot of influence, and the targeted griefing of Asmongold caused a huge loss of potentially good marketing for the game. An AOC video by Asmongold gets much more views than any
It's called a
video
Bruto.
a dedicated AOC content creator like myself, Narc, or others, or even the official AOC YouTube channel itself will get. I agree with Asmongold in that he should not get preferential treatment, but I also agree he deserves to have a normal experience and see this MMO for himself. One negative video by Asmongold portraying the game as an insufferable gankbox is enough to...
You guys want to test something out? Let me, I'll make a new character, and I'll load it into Lionhold. Then I'll need one of you guys, and I'll stream it. And I'll need one of you guys to kill me off of spawn like 3 or 4 times. And then I'll upload the video, and we'll see if you guys get banned. That ain't happening. You don't want to risk that? Let's see. Asmon can have a normal experience. Let's say a high-profile celebrity can just have a normal experience going to the grocery store. Right. Yeah, it's not happening. Yeah, let's try it out. I'll make a new character. You guys come PK me for a little bit.
Cost Intrepid a
We'll see if
lot
you get
of
banned.
money and potential revenue, whilst also diminishing
Could be a
its
fun little
reputation.
experiment.
And even if you don't care about that, if you enjoy this game and want
Yeah,
to
I'm
see
a
it
high-profile
succeed in
content
such
creator.
a stale MMO genre, then surely you must realize that griefing Asmongold on stream will inevitably just cause the
It's just
population
$250
of this
bucks,
Alpha
right?
2 test to
You
slowly
can get
drop
another one. Make a new
and/or
account.
fail to bring in less viewers than it would have if you did not provide such negative publicity. And even if you don't care about that, if you enjoy this game and want to see it succeed in such a stale MMO genre, then you must realize that griefing Asmon on stream will inevitably just cause the population of this Alpha 2 test to slowly drop and/or
Like, I'm sure the people griefing Asmongold, the $250 or how much they paid to get into the game, that is worth it to them to now forever look back at this moment and say, I got banned for killing Asmongold on his stream. And they will forever have that trophy on YouTube to tell all their friends about, tell everyone in their life about, even years from now. It's like, that griefing's always going to happen, just being, you know, the high profile content creator. Like you guys said, it's like you're a big celebrity. You can't stop it. So they're going to have to, if Steven wants to prevent this, like even when the game launches, they're going to have to, because he's not going to go away from a PvX game. He's always going to want open conflict. But I wonder what changes that they'll make down the line to prevent griefing, or if it's they might just accept like, hey, there's no way of getting around this without changing the core systems or core beliefs of our game. And if people know this going into a game and they still choose to grief Asmon or whoever, they're just gonna have to get banned. And you know, they might Intrepid Studios just might have to come to that conclusion.
Failed, while it brings in less viewers than it would have had without the negative publicity. What Asmongold experienced is a one-off and different from the experience that you or I had. However, I want to keep this as fair and as balanced of an outlook as I can. How much of this is on the development team, I'm sure you're asking. On one hand, they are in an early alpha phase focused on testing networking and performance with limited systems and content available. On the other hand, the new player experience is very important for first impressions. We recently saw this with Soda Poppin's Rage Quit, and I know for a fact that players were grieving.
I've only seen Theory Forge has a like something you can redeem, and it's like Soda Poppin going off in like the top corner of his stream. I thought it was pretty funny. I don't know if he was trolling. He was probably hamming up a little bit for the stream.
Lobbies at the starting area during the
So he might have been trolling a little bit.
testing. So why
But I
has the
think it's
PvP
funny.
suppression zone still not been implemented to at least the Lionhold area or even the starter room? This is hopefully actually coming soon, but should have been implemented as the larger public starts to get their first look at Vera through the lens of the Asmongolds of the world. Either way, I just wanted to stress that the developers over at Intrepid Studios have done a good job to ensure this game is not a gank box by making corruption extremely penalizing. So I hope that the Asmongold outlier isn't taken as the evidence that the game is indeed a gank box. And for those of you that didn't
Not a
know,
gank
Steven
box,
was
but
actually
a lot of
trying
people
to
might look at
teleport
this
Asmongold away from the area
as a
but their
gank box
system was
because of
just,
the
like,
Asmongold
kinda bugging
situation.
out. I've watched feedback from other content creators on Ashes of Creation, even the feedback of some large creators who claim
Oh, S-Fan did not have the same issue at all. Interesting. Yeah, it could just be the following that Asmon has, right? Their fan base are floor scrapings. It could just be, yeah, the fan base.
you wouldn't like Ashes of Creation and that it will be a gank box, but they did not experience anything of the sort. I'd like you all to leave your comments below and let me know your take on all this. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button as it helps others to find it. If you're new,
Beautiful,
please
nice.
consider
Thank you. Thank you for that. Woo-wee. That's wild. The Asmongold drama. What was this? Yeah, 2 days ago. And then that was him 17 hours ago. So I'm sure he's talking about... I don't know if this is a reaction to Nice. Oh, wow. Okay, let's see. That was the last thing I was going to watch. This has already been 2.5 hours. That's crazy. I don't think... It doesn't feel like I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. I watched, like, what, 4 videos? Holy cow. Maybe 5 videos? What is today? Today's Tuesday. Gotta wait till Friday to play the game again. I'll definitely be streaming this weekend for sure. If there's more content creator videos to watch, you know, not drama related, or you know, Asmongold or Pirate Software drama related, might watch them tomorrow or Thursday. That's typically what I do. When I can't play the game, I'll just watch content creator videos and we all get caught up. We all watch together. Gaming LOL, thank you for the follow. So, might stream tomorrow. If I don't, I'll probably stream Thursday. I'll stream one more time before Friday. We'll see what happens. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Thank you guys for coming out. Thanks for chatting with me. Thanks for keeping me entertained while I try to keep you entertained, you know, at least a little bit. Thank you for the follows. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll give you all big kisses and much love. And I will see you all next time I stream.